California on a beautiful day for baseball. The rains have gone away. The sunshine is out in Southern California. It's 60 degrees at game time, and the wind's now about 9 miles per hour and blowing out toward right center field. UCLA has won 4 of its 6 games, taking 2 from San Jose State, losing to UC Riverside, and then winning 2 of 3 against Gonzaga over the weekend. 4 of those have been one-run affairs, and the Bruins have split them. UNLV is 3-4. Make it CSUN is 3-4, having captured 2 of 3 against Portland, but only 1 of 4 over the weekend when they faced Towson right here in Northridge. Taking a look at the Matadors as they take the field, it is right-hander Drake Atlee who goes to the mound today. As you heard Greg say moments ago, Drake Atlee will go 1 or 2 innings today. He pitched a couple times out of the bullpen recently. So he's on the mound, and his catcher this afternoon will be Albie Weiss. On the infield, it's Kevin Riley at first base, Alvaro Rubalcaba at second, Fred Smith at shortstop, Nolan Bumstead will play third. In the Matador outfield, Riley Conlon's in left, Justin Turner is in center, and we'll make it Eli Arona over in right field for the Matadors. A year ago, UCLA was struck by numerous injuries. They finished 25-31 overall, 12-18 in the Pac-12, and in 10th place, ahead of only one team. This year, the Bruins are predicted by league coaches to wind up in 5th place. CSUN went 33-22 a year ago, finished a couple games under 500 in the Big West Conference, and they have been predicted to finish 6th this year in the conference by league coaches. Both teams last year averaged almost 5 runs a game. CSUN's pitching was better last year than UCLA. So we are set to go. Happy you're along today on GoMatadors.com. And for UCLA, it'll be Daniel Amaral leading off. He's hitting .250 with 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. And Drake Atlee, A-T-L-E-E, ready to go to work. A 6'2", 195-pound right-hander from Sacramento. Man with a sinking fastball, a good slider. Used to play shortstop. And the first pitch of the day in Northridge is in for called strike to Amaral. Amaral has 6 base hits so far, batting .250, 1 homer, and 5 runs batted in. They play him straight away, right-handed batter, and Atlee's next one. Around a bunt, takes outside for a ball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Our umpires, Chuck Lyon behind the plate, Dwayne Finley at first base, and Ramon Armendariz over at third base. Atlee reading Weiss now into his windup, and here's the pitch. Inside, and the count goes 2-1. How's this for coincidence? UCLA had a team batting average of .250 last year. So far this season, the Bruins are hitting .251. And that's not all. We'll tell you about CSUN in a moment. The pitch, a line smash past the mound, backhanded by Rubalcaba. The second baseman sets and throws and got his man. Good play. That ball was hit sharply up the middle, past the pitcher. But Rubalcaba stayed with it, backhanded it, going away, made an accurate throw to first, and they get Amaral. So 1 away, and here comes left fielder Brett Stevens. CSUN batted .259 as a club a year ago. Now has a team average of .258 this season. 2 years ago, the Matadors finished with a .257 average. All of those just very close. All right, the left-hand hitting Brett Stevens takes a strike. Brett Stevens, the left fielder, went 2 for 10 against CSUN last year, 1 for 6 here at Matador Park, had an RBI single in that game. He's gone down on his batting average the last couple of years, been a disappointment. And the next pitch to him, that's in for called strike 2. 2 years ago, Stevens hit .298. Last year he hit .223. So far this year, he's batting .190 with 1 RBI. Stevens steps out for a moment. 1 out, nobody on, no score. The game just underway. Atlee's next pitch, low and outside, and the count goes 1-2. Atlee then is a redshirt junior right-hander who transferred from Sacramento City College. Fastball in the 88 to 91 mile per hour range. The good slider. He can throw that slider at any count. Next pitch is swung on and missed, and Stevens down on strikes. So 2 away in the UCLA first inning. And that'll bring on the hottest hitter the Bruins have right now, first baseman Sean Bouchard. Bouchard hit an even .400, 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. Sean hit both home runs Sunday against Gonzaga in a 6-1 win. Bouchard, a good ball player. Ruben Koppel now moving to his right at second base on the pitch. Breaking ball to the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Drake's fastball sinks down and in to right-handed batters. That complements his slider. Very athletic on and around the mound. The next pitch. Swung on and hit foul back of the plate. The dimensions at Matador Park, 325 feet down the foul lines, 360 feet up the alleys, and 390 feet to dead center. And just to the left of the dead center sign 390, number 1 in red, circled by black, and up above the name Bob Hebert. Bob Hebert, the great CSUN coach of the past. Here's a foul ball and a play. When Bob was here, the Matadors won 2 national championships in 1970 and 1984. Those were NCAA Division II titles. No score in the ball game. First inning, 2 out, nobody on for UCLA. Bouchard, a junior out of San Diego, waiting at the plate. Hit .295 last year. Takes a fastball that's just outside, and the count is 1-2. Last year, Bouchard only hit 2 home runs all year. Made 41 starts, so he's already got the 2 this year. Terrific high school player, very talented. He's come into his own. He'll hit to all fields. Right-handed batter waiting, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is fisted foul outside of first, and down the line, unplayable. How about this? In the last 5 games between these schools in this ballpark in Northridge, the 2 teams have averaged 20 runs a game. Last year, CSUN beat UCLA here 20-12. It wasn't pretty. The 1-2 pitch almost hit him. Way inside 2-2. CSUN in that ball game erupted for 7 runs in the opening inning to take a 7-0 lead and was ahead 10-3 after 4. UCLA came up with 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to make it close at 10-8. But the Matadors exploded for another 7 in the 6th inning and won it 20-12. Here's a foul ball back on the screen, and it's still 2-2 to Sean Bouchard. In that ball game between these teams last year, Brandon Berry drove in 6 runs for CSUN with a 3-run homer, a 2-run double, and an RBI single. UCLA used 6 pitchers, and they all gave up runs in the game. Brandon now is in the Marlins organization as a pro. Here's the next pitch. In on the hands, grounded to shortstop. Backhanded by Smith. Off balance, so to first on a bounce. Gets away from him, so the runner is safe. It's going to go as an infield single. Smith had to range far to his right just to glove the ball, and his off-balance throw was not going to be in time to get Bouchard. Fortunately, it was backed up over there as Albie Weiss hustled down from behind the plate. So the Bruins have the first runner of the day, and with 2 out, here comes the right fielder, Michael Tolia. Tolia, a 6'5", 201-pound freshman from Gig Harbor, Washington. Left-handed batter. Atlee out of a stretch. And the first pitch to a switch hitter outside for a ball, 1-0. They say Michael Tolia is a special freshman. Still raw, but versatile. He can play all the outfield spots and also first base. He's in right field today. No score, first inning. The pitch, way outside for a ball. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. When CSUN and UCLA held their rematch in Westwood last year, the Matadors used 6 pitchers and held the Bruins to 1 run. And 4 of those hurlers are back, including Weston, Diaz, Myers, and O'Neill, who got the save in a 4-1 win. Diaz got the win. The pitch, fastball for a strike, outside corner, and a count 2-1. That gave the Matadors their first sweep of the Bruins in baseball in 18 years. Yep, you had to go back to 1998, the last time CSUN swept UCLA in a baseball series. All right, Atlee set. Checks the run at first, comes to the plate. Swinging a ground ball to the right side. Nice play by Rubalcaba going to his left and throws him out to retire the side. So a couple of good fielding plays by Alvaro Rubalcaba. And as the result, UCLA does not score. They got to hit the left man. And at the end of a half an inning, UCLA nothing, and CSUN coming up for the first time.
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
Drake Atlee gets the Bruins out in the first inning, so we go to the bottom of the first, no score. And out on the mound getting ready, a giant of a man. Yes, sir, 6 feet, 7 inch. Justin Hooper. And he'll be looking at Justin Turner, Fred Smith, and Riley Conlon in the bottom of the first inning. This will be the second collegiate start in 2 years for Justin Hooper. He has come out of the bullpen several times. He has been very impressive in a recent game against UC Riverside. In that ball game, he went 4 1/3 innings and struck out 10 men. So Turner stands in, left-hander against left-hander in the first pitch. A fastball for a good called strike, 0-1. Hooper has pitched twice as a reliever this year, has no decisions, worked 5 2/3 innings. His ERA, 4.76. No score in the bottom of the first. Hooper leading in, getting the sign from his catcher, Will McInerney, who's playing his first game of the year. The next pitch, Turner takes a strike, and it goes to 0-2. Justin Turner hitting .294. He went 2 for 8 against UCLA in 2 games, 1 for 4 in each ballpark. The next pitch to him, check swing, strike 3 calls. So that didn't take long. 3 pitches and 1 out in the Matador first inning. And here comes shortstop Fred Smith. Fred checks in with a .269 average. Like Turner, no homers and 2 RBIs. Last season, when he saw the Bruins, Fred Smith went 3 for 10. His big game was here, early. 3 for 6 that day, with a double, 2 singles, and 3 runs batted in. Switch hitter in from the right side, and the pitch to him. Took a little off, got it in for a strike. So Hooper's thrown 4 pitches, has 4 strikes to show for it. Justin not only is 6'7", he weighs 232 pounds. He's a sophomore from San Ramon, California. Hard-throwing left-hander, comes back, and it's swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Fred steps out, goes over, gets some dirt on his hands. Hooper appeared in 14 games a year ago, all but 1 out of the bullpen. Then a freshman, he had a 1-run record, but a horrendous earned run average of 18. Here comes the next pitch to Smith. Swung on and driven in the air to center field, coming up and making a lunging catch out there, Daniel Emerald to take a base hit away from Fred Smith. Last year, Fred led the Matadors with 75 hits. And he's robbed of a hit there. Nice play by Emerald, got a good jump on it. 2 away for Riley Conlon, the left fielder. Riley off to a very slow start in his first year with the Matadors, hitting .095. That's 2 hits and 21 at-bats, 1 RBI. No, back to Justin Hooper. He pitched only 8 innings last year for UCLA, but he allowed 18 runs, 16 of them earned. He walked 13. He hit 6 opposing batters. He threw 4 wild pitches. He misses low. 1 ball, no strikes to the right-handed hitting Conlon. There were some positive notes, though, about Hooper's first season at UCLA. He gave up just 6 hits. The next pitch, low inside, ball 2, 2-0. So 18 runs, 16 of them earned, but only 6 hits. He had 9 strikeouts in 8 innings. And the rival hitters only batted 200 against him. So he was wild. Here he comes back. It swung on and lifted foul out of play. In fact, here at Matador Park last year on March 8th, Hooper came in to pitch the 6th inning. CSUN was ahead 10-8. And Justin faced 5 Matadors, and here's how they did. Walk, double, hit batsman, hits batsman, walk. He got no one out, was charged with 5 runs on 1 hit. Was not the losing pitcher. But the Doors scored 7 runs in that inning to win it 20-12. Here is ball 2 now to Conlon, and the count goes 2-2. 2 out, nobody on, no score, first inning. The pitch on the outside corner, strike 3 called. So Hooper gets the Matadors in order and has 2 Ks along the way. At the end of 1 inning, CSUN nothing, UCLA nothing.
The Sundial is more than just a great print newspaper. The Student Newsroom is your connection to CSUN every day, online, on the app, or on social media. Send us a snap, ask a question on Twitter, tag us on Instagram, and read the latest news, sports, and event guides right from your phone. We love to hear from you. Take a picture and tag the Sundial from the game or anytime.
No score at the end of 1 inning today at Northridge. These clubs will play again next Tuesday over at Westwood at Jackie Robinson Field. Drake Adley, in probably his final inning on the mound. Greg Moore was saying in the pregame show he'd go 1 or 2. He faced 4 men in the first inning, 2 ground outs, a strikeout, and a 2-out single by Sean Bouchard along the way. Now it'll be Nick Valeka, Jake Prees, and Chase Strump to bat for UCLA. The Bruins have 15 freshmen on their 37-man roster. 11 of them have already played, and 3 are starting. Here's Nick Valeka coming up. Nick was a redshirt last year, sat it out with an injury. Has come back. He's hitting .217, 1 homer, 2 RBIs. Two years ago, Nick had only 3 hits and 20 at-bats as a freshman. Right-handed batter. Lines one down the left field line. It's a fair ball headed toward the corner. Here's Valeka on his way to second. Conlon gets the ball back in, and it's a leadoff double for the shortstop of the Bruins. Hit number 2 off Drake Adley. And that will bring on the designated hitter today, Jake Prees. Prees steps in with a .333 batting average, 4 hits and 12 at-bats, including a home run and 1 RBI. UCLA only has 4 men batting over .250. Sean Bouchard is now over .400 with that base hit early. Daniel Rosica, the catcher, not playing today, .357, 5 for 14. Jake Prees right here, .333, 4 for 12. And Ryan Kreidler, who come up a little bit later, number 8 in the order at .316, with 6 hits and 19 at-bats. Atlee delivers, and the pitch got the outside corner for a strike. CSUN has committed 14 errors in 7 games. A year ago, the Matadors averaged under 1 error a start. And you look at the CSUN defensive numbers this year, and they are a little bit scary if you're a CSUN fan. Here comes the next pitch, half swing, and it'll stay low and a count 1-1. The 14 errors by the Matadors have been committed by 11 different players in those 7 games. And it has cost CSUN 9 unearned runs. About 35% of the runs the Matadors have yielded this year have been unearned runs. And that is not what you want. The stretch now by Atlee. Here's his next pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. And the count is 1-2. CSUN comes in with 3 wins, 4 losses, but without the bad defense in several games, they'd be a whole lot better off this year. They had a 3-0 lead over Portland after 7. They were up 3-1 after 8. Errors cost them. They lost on the 10th, 4-3. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball foul back of the plate. The Matadors were ahead of Towson 2-0 and 2-1 through 7 innings, but lost 7-2 in the second game of the doubleheader on Saturday. Errors again were costly. CSUN held a 3-0 advantage over Towson after 6 innings on Sunday, but gave up 6 runs in the 7th and lost 6-5. So that's the difference in being 3-4 instead of being 6-1. Even Justin Turner, the great center fielder of the Matadors, made his first error Sunday, his first error in 3 seasons, when his throw from center field went to the backstop on a play at the plate. No score, but UCLA threatening. The pitch is swung on, and did he foul tip it? I think he did. Stays up there. So Prees takes a walk, comes back through the home plate area. Prees got 1 at bat last year against CSUN, and they retired him on that occasion. Chase Trump is on deck. No score, top of the second inning. Atlee, out of a stretch. Turns to second, no play, no throw. You look at the earned run averages of the Matadors' top 3 starting pitchers, and boy, the numbers jump out at you. Andrew Weston, 0.66. Sam Myers, 0.00. Tay Vanderford, 0.66. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and popped up. Back of the plate. Albie Weiss off with the mask. Comes back under it now. Staggers and makes the catch for the first out. So Prees fouls out, and that'll bring on the second baseman, Chase Trump. He's hitting an even 200. 3 hits, 15 at bats, 1 home run, 1 RBI. Going back to the big 3 in the starting rotation for CSUN, Weston, Myers, and Vanderford. Opponents' batting averages against those 3, 173 against Weston, 171 when they've seen Myers, 143 facing Vanderford. And they are combined 3 wins and 2 losses despite that. Now the stretch by Atlee, and he turns, whirls to second, holds the ball. Couldn't ask for a better day weather-wise. Not a cloud in the sky. Well, I see a cloud over around Tarzana, but for the most part, no. Atlee working on Strump. Valeka, who opened with a double, is still at second base with 1 out now. Good to see UCLA's Director of Baseball Operations, Steve Rodriguez, here today. Now, Atlee is ready. And the first pitch on the way to Strump. Inside for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Strump, the 6'1", 197-pound freshman from Ladera Ranch, California. Hit a home run Saturday against Gonzaga. A very talented high school player who got a lot of accolades as a prep player. And a good middle infielder, second baseman. He takes a pitch that's low and inside, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Remember last season, CSUN won 5 of his first 8 games, and then went on a 13-game winning streak to improve the record to 18-3. Well, this is the Matadors' 8th game this year. If they can win it, they'll be 4-4. Atlee looks at second, comes to the plate. The fastball is swung on and bounced foul. Over toward the third base dugout of the Matadors. How these teams done against each other over the years when they played baseball? Well, it depends on which school's sports information office you believe. CSUN says that UCLA holds the edge, but only 41-39 with one tie. UCLA's athletic department, publicity department, says no, UCLA leads 35-30. I'm thinking that UCLA might not have counted games against San Fernando Valley State. All right, 2 balls and a strike to count. Here comes the pitch. Half swing, good for a called strike 2. And it's 2-2 to the second baseman, Chase Strump. On deck, Ryan Kreidler. These are 2 of the largest schools in California. UCLA with 45,000 students, CSUN with 40,000. No score, second inning. Atlee in his final inning of work delivers. Just missed low inside. A good bluff off a second by Nick Valleca. And now we have a full count at 3-2. UCLA as a team only hit 14 home runs last year. Their opponents hit 38. But UCLA went deep over the weekend, and they've already got up to, I think it's 5 home runs this year. All right, the payoff pitch from Atlee to Strump. It's on the way, and it's just outside, ball 4. So the Bruins have runners at first and second with 1 away. And here's the 8th place hitter, third baseman Ryan Kreidler coming on. Kreidler, as we said earlier, batting .316, no homers and 4 runs batted in. That comes out to half a dozen hits and 19 plate appearances. Ryan's another one of those 3 freshmen starting for the Bruins. He's a 6'2", 195-pounder from Davis, California. A tenacious defender. They say has a high energy level. He can also play any infield position UCLA wants him. Competitive, a big, strong kid, right-handed batter. So the Bruins trying to get the jump. One thing is for certain. UCLA had a better first inning here today than they had in the first inning here last year when they gave up 7. Imagine 2 7-run innings for CSUN. Atlee's first one to Kreidler, in for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-1. The one thing I will always remember, well, at least for a couple of years I'll always remember, that CSUN UCLA first game last year. It was something else. Now the stretch by Atlee. Runners go, and the pitch swung on a miss, snap throw to third. Bumstead put the tag on him, but apparently it's too late. Low throw by Weiss, and Bumstead tried to block the bag and make the tag and couldn't do it. So it's a double steal for UCLA. Valleca swipes third. Strump on the back end goes to second. And the count to Kreidler is no balls, 2 strikes. The 9th place hitter is on deck. That's the catcher Will McInerney, who has not had an at-bat yet. The pitch is just outside for a ball, 1-2. McInerney is the freshman out of Laguna Beach. So if this were a major league game, you could well see maybe ball 4 issued here to set it up for a guy who's not had an at-bat collegiately. But it's not the major leagues. Atlee out of the stretch. His pitch. Swung on and hit foul down the right field line. Back and out of play. Now, when these teams played here last year, early, UCLA pitchers that day hit 9 Matador batters with pitches, and 6 of them scored. in CSUN's 20-12 victory. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball, foul, back a third. So it is still 1-2 to Kreidler. In the first inning of that game last year, Yusei Akitoshi and Jose Ruiz of the Matadors were both struck by pitches. In the third inning, Jason Newman was plunked. During the sixth inning, Albie Weiss, Nolan Bumstead, and Jason Newman were all hit. Bumstead took one in the seventh. Akitoshi and Berry were drilled in the eighth, making the total 9. If you're wondering, the Major League record for the most hit batters in a game by one team is 6. Atlee's pitch. Swung on, a bouncer up the middle, headed to center field, base hit. 1 run is home. The other man coming to plate, he will score. It's 2-0 UCLA as Ryan Kreidler comes through with his 5th and 6th runs batted in of the season. 2-run single. So the double steal pays off for UCLA as Valeka and Strump both come over to score. Still only 1 out in the inning, and here is Will McInerney coming up. Another note on the 9 hit batsmen last year by the UCLA pitchers here at CSUN. The Major League record of 6 by one team was set in 1897 and tied in 1913. You probably don't remember any of the pitchers in those 2 games. Here is a called strike to the right-handed hitting Will McInerney. Bruins 2, Matadors nothing. Top of the second inning. Drake Atlee probably in his final inning of work, getting roughed up in the second. Here's the next pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. And the count goes 0-2. No one throwing at the moment in the CSUN bullpen. Now they have a guys up that is throwing. 2-0 UCLA. Runner at first. Only 1 man out here in the second inning. The next pitch, low outside. The runner is going to second base as Weiss couldn't find the ball around the plate. It will not be a stolen base because the runner didn't take off until he saw Weiss couldn't find it. I'm going to assume it's a wild pitch on Atlee. And as a result, UCLA's got another man in scoring position with 1 out here in the second inning, already leading 2-0. Leadoff man Daniel Amaral moves on deck. UCLA wearing their light blue batting helmets, gray traveling road uniforms, blue numerals on the jerseys. Here's the pitch. Reached for, swung on and missed, and that'll do it for McInerney. So they struck out the man that they hoped to get, but they didn't figure on Kreidler coming through with a 2-run single. For Atlee, that is his second strikeout of the ball game. Atlee has now given up 3 hits, 2 of them in this inning. Nick Valeka opened the second with a double. Jake Prees fouled out to Weiss. Chase Strump walked. They pulled off a double steal, and Ryan Kreidler singled up the middle to get home too. Now McInerney is fanned, and here's Amaral. He hits the ground ball to the left of the shortstop Smith. Up with it. Double clutches, throws to first, and just got him. So UCLA comes up with 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave a man, and at the end of an inning and a half, UCLA 2, CSUN nothing.
Dedicated to preserving patients' knees, shoulders, and hips, Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute are proud partners of Matador Athletics. By avoiding full knee, shoulder, and hip surgery, LA Orthopedic is able to return each patient to a healthy, active lifestyle with faster rehabilitation and recovery. Dr. Dominic Sisto is the official orthopedic surgeon of CSUN Matador Athletics in 2015 and 16. For more information, visit laortho.org.
CSUN's going to have to come from behind and get at least 3 runs, even if they shut out UCLA the rest of the afternoon. 2-0 Bruins. We go to the bottom of the second inning. And it'll be Kevin Riley, Albie Weiss, and Alex Hull to bat for the Matadors. Kyle Nickel has been warming up in the CSUN bullpen. We expect to see him in the third. And the first pitch to Riley outside ball 1. Kevin had quite a weekend series against Towson. 8 hits and 16 at-bats. In fact, he went 0 for 4 in the first game, so he's 8 for his last 12. And batting .379. The next pitch high and outside from Justin Hooper, 2-0. Albie Weiss also was red hot against Towson over the weekend. He's on deck. To be followed by Alex Hull, who's now today the designated hitter. Alex, one of the newcomers to the ball club. And then a pitch. In on the hands and popped up on the left side. The third baseman fighting the sun stays with it. And Ryan Cardler makes the catch for the first out. So Hooper's gotten 4 in a row to start the ball game. Now he'll turn his attention to catcher Albie Weiss. Albie went 7 for 17 in those 4 games against Towson. He had a grand slam and 5 RBIs in the second game. I guess it was the first game of the doubleheader Saturday. And that's the one that the Doors won 11-5. He wound up with 7 runs batted in the series, and he swings and misses. Albie had a big year against UCLA last season, 5 for 9 in the 2 games with 4 RBIs. But here, what a day he had. 3 for 5, 2-run homer, solo homer, a single, 3 RBIs. The next one very high for a ball. 2-0 UCLA. Matadors looking for their first runner of the ball game. Hooper from the third base side of the rubber winds and delivers, and the breaking ball stays high. And the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike to Weiss. The next one, Albie. Swung on and hit the left field and deep, and this ball will be gone. A home run for Albie Weiss. He does it again against UCLA. That cuts the Bruin lead in half. It's now a 2-1 ball game in the second inning. Albie's second home run, his 9th RBI. It's interesting. He has 9 RBIs. Kevin Riley has 5, and nobody else on the Matadors has more than 2 runs batted in. So Albie, who has shortened his swing this year and has been hitting very well, hits it out. Around a bunt is Alex Hull, and he takes one inside ball 1, almost hit him. So the long ball gets the Matadors on the board. That's the 4th homer this year for CSUN. Hull shows bunt and takes a pitch that is a little bit high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Hull, a junior out of Edmonds, Washington, went to Tacoma City College, and he now looks at one that's in for a strike. And the count is 2-1. UCLA 2, CSUN 1. We're in the second inning. Here comes the next pitch from Hooper. Fastball's down low, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Hull joining the Matadors as a junior transfer for this year. He played 2 seasons for Tacoma. It's community college. Earned first-team All-Northwest Atlantic Conference honors there as freshman and sophomore. And he fouls one back at 3-2. Alex hit .426 as a freshman at Tacoma and .333 his final season. Good athlete. Played baseball, football, and basketball in high school. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted to right field. playable. Coming up to make the catch is Michael Tolia, and that's out number 2 here in the second inning. Now the third baseman, Nolan Bumstead. Talking about all those hit batters last year in the CSUN UCLA game here. My late colleague Don Drysdale led the National League in hit batsmen a record 5 times, including 4 straight seasons. And Don said, if the hitter is timid, a pitcher has to remind the hitter he's timid. First pitch is in for a called strike to Nolan Bumstead. Don had another theory that he told me about over the years. If the pitcher on the other team hits one of my players, I'm going to hit 2 of his. That's why he led the league 5 times. Here comes Hooper's pitch. Stays outside for a ball. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Kreidler singled in 2 for UCLA on the top of the second. And Albie Weiss comes back with a bases-empty home run for CSUN in the bottom of the second. A 2-1 ball game. Bumstead out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Takes, and it's inside. Nolan went 1 for 7 in the 2 games against UCLA last year. This season, he's hitting an even 200. He's had 4 base hits, 1 of them a home run, and 2 runs batted in. Solid player, great student. Takes a pitch inside. And now the count goes to 3-1. Alvaro Rubalcaba is on deck. Nolan steps out, now back in. Here comes the pitch from Hooper. Fastball's in for a called strike, 3-1. Nolan taking all the way. Two runs, 3 hits for UCLA. 1 run, 1 hit for CSUN. The blast by Weiss. Hooper winds, and the pitch on the way. Foul ball hit off to the left, back and out of play. So it's still 3-2. UCLA has had excellent pitching this year. They come into the game today with the 3rd best earned run average in all of college baseball, 1.64. Last year it was 4.7. Bumstead swings and misses and strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Justin Hooper. At the end of 2 innings, UCLA 2, CSUN 1.
It's your imagination. Pyology just feeds it. The best pizza you're ever going to eat is the official pizza of CSUN Athletics. Now open in Northridge, pizza lovers know Pyology creates artisan-style custom pizzas. 50 unlimited toppings, house-made crust, and signature sauces, all for one affordable price even matadors can sink their teeth into. Cooked in an 800-degree open-flame deck oven, ready in about 5 minutes. So for a delicious pie, fresh garden salad, and an ice-cold beer, check out Pyology on the corner of Reseda and Nordoff. As good as a game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer.
Drake Atlee, not only is a pitcher, he must be a pretty good clubhouse lawyer. He just talked Coach Greg Moore into letting him go back to the mound for the 3rd inning after Greg told us on the pregame show he will work 1 or maybe 2 innings. That's it. 2-1 UCLA as we move along to the 3rd. Ross Porter with you from Northridge. Kevin Strauss, our engineer, doing all the knob turning for us today. For the Bruins in the 3rd, it'll be Brett Stevens, Sean Bouchard, and Michael Tolia. Atlee's pitch, fastball, low outside, ball 1. Stevens struck out swinging his first time up. Atlee into his windup. The next one. Fastball is high, ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Stevens, 6 foot, 197-pound senior out of Moraga. Here comes Atlee. Got the inside corner with the fastball. It's 2-1. Stevens had an RBI single against Gonzaga on Sunday after the Bruins fell behind by 2 runs. He's the senior leader of the UCLA team. Take strike 2. 2-2. Year ago, Stevens made 46 starts in left field for UCLA, hit .223, 19 RBI. He was hit by 7 pitches during the season, and he went 4 for 4 when he tried to steal bases. Drake Atlee's next one, and that misses. And so Atlee started to roll up the pitch count. He's 3 balls, 2 strikes to this batter. And the dangerous Sean Bouchard is on deck. Now, the payoff pitch. Here it is. It's inside, ball 4. So for Drake Atlee, that'll be his second walk of the ball game. And Bouchard's coming up. Sean singled his first time up. UCLA has lost 3 of its top 4 hitters in batting average, home runs, and RBI from last season. Two to 1 Bruins, 3rd inning. Atlee's pitch, way outside for ball, 1-0. In the last 3 years, the Bruins have had 3 different second basemen and 3 different third basemen. They've had some outstanding pitchers. They lost one of their best early this year, Kyle Molnar. He won't pitch all year because of an injury. The next pitch misses, 2 balls and no strikes. UCLA has one of the best collegiate pitchers in America, Griffin Canning, out of Santa Margarita High School down in Costa de Casa, California, a junior. Throw to first, high throw, nice save over there by Riley, lunging to his left to get it. It's a long season. UCLA's played 56 games, CSUN's playing 55. And both of them have almost the same totals, 32 at home, 23 on the road, except UCLA had 1 more. Pitch is swung on, foul back. 2-1. CSUN again has stacked the schedule in their favor early. Of their first 17 games, 16 are at Matador Park. The only one on the road was at Pepperdine, where the ball club staged a very impressive comeback the other day. Gave 6 runs in the first inning and fell behind 6-1. Later it was 7-3. And at that point, CSUN scored the next 9 runs to lead 12-7. Darkness came. They called it. They suspended it. And they will resume that game here April 4th. The Matadors will need 6 outs, and they got a 5-run lead. So all those numbers and a win cannot go in the column until it's officially over. Atlee twice has gone over to first base, not nearly in time. Brett Stevens, the runner at first. Bouchard waiting at the plate to count 2 balls and a strike. Now the pitch swung and missed. The runner goes. The throw's on the left field side of the bag, and safe at second is Brett Stevens. So that's 3 steals for UCLA in the first 3 innings today. The count to Bouchard, 3 balls and 1 strike. Bouchard's a free swinger. He only walked 14 times all of last year. Struck out 39 times, 41 starts. Nobody out. UCLA trying to add to its 2-1 lead in the 3rd inning. Drake Atlee comes to the plate. Fastball low outside. He walks Bouchard. So back-to-back walks to begin the 3rd inning. 3 walks on the day for Atlee. They've all come in the last 2 innings. In fact, He has now walked those 3 men among the last 6 hitters he faced. Fred Smith's going in from shortstop to talk to Atlee. And now he'll return to his position. Sometimes, especially at the professional level, if that were to occur, the shortstop would go in there to stall for time while the pitcher got ready in the bullpen. And then the manager belatedly would come out and take out the pitcher. But not here. All right, here is Michael Tolia, the right fielder. He bounced to second base, first time up. Atlee's pitch. Fastball drilled in there for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Two on, nobody out. The man Atlee walked in the last inning scored. 2 walks here to start the third. The pitch. Round a bunt, takes, and is low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. The Matadors should get 2 of their 6 injured pitchers back in the next week. Joe Ryan, who could become the number 4 starter, and Ray Diaz, who got the win at UCLA last April and is ready to relieve, they both should come back soon. Timeout. Weiss goes to the mound. Smith joins him. Talking to Atlee. Kyle Nickel was up earlier in the CSUN bullpen, but Atlee was allowed to go back for the 3rd inning. Now we're set. Tolia, the left-hand hitter, steps back in. Brett Stevens takes his lead off second. Sean Bouchard away at first. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to second. Rubalcaba's got it. Goes back to Smith for 1. On to first. Double play. Beautifully turned. Rubalcaba to his left. Dived, blocked it, and from his knees threw a strike to Fred Smith coming across the bag at second. Fred got rid of it in a hurry. Back over to Kevin Riley, and they double up Tolia. Brett Stevens goes to third. Bouchard is erased on the force out. And the double play puts Atlee in a much better position. He's still going to have to get Nick Valeka for the final out, and Valeka doubled in the left field corner in the last inning, came around to score. Now Greg Moore goes to the mound, and now he will go to the bullpen. A pitcher walks 2 to begin an inning. He's out there on shaky ground anyway. His manager didn't expect him to be out there. So what does the pitcher do? He induces the 3rd batter of the inning to ground into a double play, and the manager comes out and says, "That's it. You're through. What have you done for me lately?" So Atlee will leave. He will wind up with 2 2/3 innings. We can't close the book on Drake yet. He's charged with at least 2 runs, both of them earned. He gave up 3 hits. He walked 3. He struck out 2. And now he figures to go back to the bullpen for a while. Matadors don't play again until next Tuesday when they face UCLA over at Jackie Robinson Field. We'll have that for you on GoMatadors.com. And we invite you to join us. Is that a 6 o'clock game, Kevin? I believe it is. So it'll have just gotten dark. And if you have a week off, as the Matadors are, my guess is Greg comes back with his number 1 starter, Andrew Weston. Otherwise, Weston will have had, 11 days off, something like that. It is a 6 o'clock start next Tuesday. And then we get busy. Tuesday, UCLA at UCLA. Wednesday, Holy Cross plays here. Thursday, make it Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We're talking about March 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Purdue's Boilermakers will be here for a 4-game series followed by St. Mary's for 4 games on March 17th, 18th, 19th. 18th a doubleheader. So, 9 straight home games after the game Tuesday at UCLA. All right, the batter, Nick Valeka. 2-1 Bruins, 3rd inning. Kyle Nickel, the side-arming submarine right-hander, delivers, and it's swung on and missed. UCLA's closer is Brian Gadsby, and he is also a submarine-style pitcher. Right-hander, drops that arm down below the waist and comes in. So tough to hit. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. Smith's got him played perfectly. Up with it, throws to first in time. And CSUN turns UCLA away after the 2 leadoff walks in the inning. At the end of 2.5, UCLA 2 and CSUN 1.
In-N-Out Genuine Radio presents What Real Tastes Like.
The classic double-double.
2 pieces of meat, cheese, fresh tomatoes, and lettuce. It's perfect.
I don't know what they put in it, but it must be pieces of heaven.
The juiciest, tastiest burger you will ever have.
I love it so much.
Just deliciousness.
The ultimate burger.
Genuine people, genuine food, genuine passion. It's what's made In-N-Out, In-N-Out since 1948.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
We're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning at Matador Park in Northridge, California. UCLA 2, CSUN 1. And for the Doors, that's the nickname, Matadors, but you shorten it to Doors. It'll be Alvaro Rubalcaba, Eli Orona, and Justin Turner to face the big guy, 6 foot, 7 inch, Justin Hooper. Biggest left-handed pitcher of all time, Randy Johnson, 6 feet 10. Pretty good pitcher. Fastball in for a strike. Rubalcaba comes in hitting .235. He's had 4 hits, 1 RBI. Right-handed batter. Greg Moore says that Alvaro turns the double play better than any second baseman he has had here at CSUN. And this is his 4th year. Next pitch just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So we told you that CSUN scored 11 runs the other day in winning 1 game in that Towson series. The other 6 games, they've only tallied a total of 20 runs. Here's a ground foul outside the third base dugout. And the count is 1-2 to Rubalcaba. Rubalcaba, 5'8", redshirt junior, out of San Mateo, California. Went to Solano Community College. Hooper into his windup. The next one, way outside and high. And the count evens 2-2. Justin Hooper throws a 92 to 94 mile per hour fastball, a slider, and a changeup. But he is some physical specimen. He stays tough, he's competitive. Here's his next one. Swung on, and that is fouled out of play. Opponents are hitting this season against Hooper at a 111 clip before today. 2 for 18. He had 12 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings coming in, and he's walked only 2. He misses for ball 3 outside to Rubalcaba. Justin Hooper is the younger brother of Atlanta Falcons tight end Austin Hooper, who scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl this month. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and he might have chased ball forward. Appeared to be high and outside. So there's the 4th strikeout of the game for Hooper. One out in the Matador third inning. 2-1, UCLA leads it. And here's the ninth place hitter, Eli Arona, coming up. Eli off to a good start, batting .357. 5 hits, 14 at-bats, 1 RBI. He went 2 for 8 when he saw UCLA pitching last year. The next pitch, a bunt. Up with it, the catcher, and McInerney makes his throw in plenty of time to get us Arona, and the count, he didn't get a count. He went after the first pitch, putted, and he's out 2-3. So 2 away, here's Justin Turner, called out on the strikes first time up. There's a pitcher named Loke Van Mill. He grew up in Holland, and he's trying to make the Angels ball club this spring. If he does, he will be known for another reason. At 7'1", he'd become the tallest major leaguer in history. The pitch to Turner hits him on the arm. So Justin will go to first base. Now here's Fred Smith, lined out to center field in the first inning. So there's your first hit batsman of the day, served up by a UCLA pitcher in this ballpark. Smith looks down to Jordan Tuhig, who's coaching at first. Chris Hom is the third base coach for the Matadors. Riley Goulding over with Greg Moore in the dugout. The pitch, fastball, is inside, gets away from the catcher. Here's Turner to second. The throw is high, and he's in there. And that'll be a wild pitch on Hooper. And now the Matadors have the tying run in scoring position, and the guy who led them in base hits by plenty last year, Fred Smith, at the plate. This is not his favorite side. Nope. He'd rather bat left-handed. But with the left-hander on the mound, he's in there from the other side. We talked about the rugged defensive play of the Matadors early. 14 errors, 7 games. Let some games get away that they could have won because of their defense. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball down to third. Nice hop for Kreidler. Toss to first is in time. And so CSUN leaves that tying run in scoring position. At the end of 3 innings, UCLA 2, CSUN 1.
Planning a group event can be an enormous undertaking. Whether it's a work meeting, sporting event, or a family reunion, simplify your event planning with HotelPlanner.com. We're #1 in group travel. We'll work with you and the hotels to get you the finest hotel, best prices, and group booking policies available. And as the leading provider in group planning, our professional team members will plan your event at no charge and offer the lowest group rates guaranteed. Visit us at HotelPlanner.com. #1 in group travel.
After 3 innings, it is UCLA 2 and CSUN 1. 4 hits in the ball game. 3 of those belong to the Bruins, including the 2-run single by Ryan Kreidler in the second inning that gave him a 2-0 lead. And the only hit for the Matadors, the home run by Albie Weiss in the second inning. So a good one going here today. And in the 4th inning, Jake Prees, Chase Strumpf, and Ryan Kreidler will bat for UCLA. Priest, right-handed batter, fouled out to catcher Weiss his first time up. Jake, a versatile player, can play several positions. Right-handed batter, takes one inside for a ball. And the count goes 1 ball, no strikes. UCLA let one get away the other night. They had a 1-0 lead over Gonzaga going to the 9th inning at home. But the Zags scored 1 in the 9th and 1 in the 10th to win 2-1. That's why they are 4-2 today and not 5-1. Their other loss they could have won. They were ahead of Riverside 2-0 going to the 8th. Gave up 3. Lost it. Foul ball out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kyle Nickel ready. Fires it in there. It's a called strike and a count 1-2. We told you that UCLA has 15 freshmen on their 37-man roster. That's a lot of freshmen. They've also got 6 new bats in the 9-man lineup. Here comes the next one. Swung on and drilled to left field and deep. If it's fair, it might be out of here in the corner, but it is a foul ball. So Nickel got it up. The Submariner got that ball higher than he wanted to. And he gets the ball, a new ball back, fortunately for him. Kyle figures to be very tough on opposing right-handed batters with that style of his. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Reach for a poke, foul off to the right. You think about the major leaguers with that submarine style over the years. Dan Quisenberry, Kent TeCulvey, Gene Garber. Those are the first 3 to come to mind. Kyle Nickel played baseball all 4 years he was over at John Burroughs High School in Burbank. The pitch to him is swung on and lifted out toward right center, backing out the second baseman, Rubicalba, stays with it, makes a one-handed catch. It wasn't too easy, as it turned out. So Preece pops up, and here comes Chase Strumpf, who walked, was part of that double steal in the second that set it up for Ryan Kreisler to come through with a 2-run single. Kyle Nickel, 5'8", 150-pounder. He was the Pacific League Player of the Year last year in high school. 1 out, nobody on. 2-1 UCLA, 4th inning. Sidearm pitch, swung on, popped up back of first. Riley going over and runs out of room. You ask Kyle Nickel, and he spells the last name Nicol. Hey, what has been your greatest sports moment? And he doesn't wait very long to tell you. He said, one day my team was playing for the Easton Tournament Championship, and I struck out 14 batters. 2 balls and a strike is the count to Strumpf. The next one, inside and low, and the count evens 1-1. Non-conference play. That gives the coaches a chance to look at a lot of players that see where they stand. Here's a ground ball at the middle of center field for a base hit. So Strumpf is on for the second time. He was only 3 for 15 on the year, and he's walked, singled, and scored a run today. First hit off Nickel, and now here is Ryan Kreidler, who accounted for the UCLA runs with his 2-run single in the second inning. In that frame, Nick Valleca opened with a double. Jake Preece fouled out, but Chase Strumpf walked. Then the Bruins executed the double steal, and that allowed Kreidler to hit it up the middle and knock in 2. The pitch swung on and foul back, out of play. Nick Bocanegra, the fine publicity director of the athletic department at CSUN, asked all of these CSUN players this year several questions. And one of them was, tell me what the best advice you've received would be. They asked Kyle Nickel, and he said 2 words, don't change. Throw to first, runner back. They asked him also, what would your advice be for young people? And Kyle said, be humble. A man not of many words, but a lot of wisdom there. The next pitch, did it hit him? Umpire says no. Kreidler wasn't sure. He turned, quickly looked at the umpire and said, wait a minute, did I get clipped? And Chuck Lyons said, I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. So get back in. Struck pretty good lead off first base. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Good sinker. And the count is now 1-2. One more thing about Kyle Nickel. Nice fellow, nice young man. He says he cannot live without his telephone. Join the club. Another throw to first, runner back. Ryan Kreidler, who's at the plate, drove in the winning run in a game against San Jose State this year when he beat the throw to first base to prevent a double play in the last of the ninth inning. The walk-off RBI fielder's choice gave UCLA a 3-2 win. Here's a foul ball back. And UCLA has had to generate some offense again this year. When they came into the season, nobody really knew what kind of an offense they were going to have. They'd lost a lot of the players who had supplied the numbers. And so they've scratched and clawed. And a good example, in one game this year against San Jose State, Daniel Amaral was caught in a rundown trying to steal second base. Well, he put on the brakes, and he stayed in the rundown long enough for the runner at third to score. And that was one of the deciding runs in that victory over San Jose State. All right, nickel ready. 2-1 UCLA, fourth inning. Runner at first base with one out. When the Matadors hit in the bottom of the fourth, they'll have the middle of the order. Number 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Riley Conlon, Kevin Riley, Albie Weiss coming up. And Albie has a home run for the only Matador run today. Now the stretch by Nickel. And the pitch just missed a little bit low. And the count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. CSUN and UCLA today at Northridge. CSUN and UCLA Tuesday, Jackie Robinson Field at Westwood. Here comes the pitch. That sinker is down low, and another full count to a UCLA batter. Kreidler, one of the 3 freshmen in the Bruins starting lineup, waiting at the plate. Here comes the pitch. Runner goes. Swung on a miss, struck him out, throw to second on a bounce. Still got him. Double play. Weiss bounced his throw, but a very nice job down there by Fred Smith, who came up and made the tag, and they got the double play. So at the end of 3.5 innings, it remains UCLA 2 and CSUN 1.
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
To the bottom of the fourth inning, Northridge, California. Ross Porter with you today. Thanks for joining us on GoMatadors.com. UCLA with 2 runs in the second. Albie Weiss a solo homer in the bottom of the second for CSUN. So it's 2-1. And here is Riley Conlon trying to shake his way out of a slump for CSUN. Taking a pitch outside, ball 1. Conlon called out on the strikes in the first inning, which means Riley has 2 hits in 22 at-bats as a Matador. And Greg Moore says, coming into the year, I thought Riley Conlon might be our best hitter this year. He squares the bunt, takes outside. Riley's a 6-foot, 200-pound junior from Canoga Park, California. Went to Chatsworth High. Spent some time at Creighton University in Omaha. Then went to Moore Park College and now here. One of two switch hitters on the doors, along with Fred Smith. He squares to bunt, takes outside, ball 3. Riley is like Fred. They're both better hitters from the left side. Conlon was an all-city first-team selection at Chatsworth and MVP of the West Valley League. Helped his team to 3 consecutive league titles. He'll look at a strike and it's 3-1. When he went to Creighton, he spent a year but he didn't play baseball. Switched to Moore Park where he competed for 2 seasons, batted .366 last year, first team all-league. 3-1 pitch. Squares to bunt, takes a strike, outside corner, full count. In Greg Moore's words, Riley Conlon has a rare mix of hitting for average and power. So nobody expects him to stay 2 for 22 long. He takes way outside, ball 4. And so Justin Hooper issues his first walk. He hit Justin Turner with a pitch in the 3rd inning. Here's Kevin Riley coming on. He popped up to 3rd, his first time up. Four strikeouts for Hooper, 1 walk, 1 hit batsman. Kevin Riley, 6'1", 205-pounder, a junior first baseman, strong right-handed hitter, out of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Graduated from Los Osos High School, where he was a 4-year second baseman who hit .406 as a senior. He hits one back to the mound. Hooper goes down to his shortstop for 1, back to first for a double play. So 1-6-3 on that twin killing. And we have 2 gone. Bases now empty for CSUN. And the home run hitter today, Albie Wise, coming up. Albie with his 3rd home run against UCLA in the last 2 seasons. Drove it over the left field fence in the 2nd inning today. The CSUN coaches say that when Albie Wise has a good first at bat, he'll usually have a good day at the plate. He takes way outside, ball 1. In their words, he'll usually keep a good swing the rest of the game. But he's so hard on himself. He swings at a sinker, comes up empty, and a count 1-1. Although he has hit home runs, let's see now, he's had, I think it's 14 home runs in 2 seasons plus this year. He swings as a slow ground ball to the left side, gloved by the 3rd baseman, and a throw to first for Ryan Kreidler is in time to retire the side. So the double play put the brakes to the inning. We go to the 5th, UCLA 2, CSUN 1.
The Sundial is more than just a great print newspaper. The Student Newsroom is your connection to CSUN every day, online, on the app, or on social media. Send us a snap, ask a question on Twitter, tag us on Instagram, and read the latest news, sports, and event guides right from your phone. We love to hear from you. Take a picture and tag the Sundial from the game or anytime.
A year ago, these 2 schools combined to score 32 runs in their game here at Matador Field in Northridge, California. CSUN won it 20-12. Today, it's a pitcher's duel. After 4 innings, the Bruins 2, the Matadors 1. And for UCLA in the 5th, it'll be Will McInerney, Daniel Amaral, and Brett Stevens to face Kyle Nickel. Yeah, we were talking about Kyle and that pitching motion of his, submarine throwing motion. Drops the right arm before he releases the ball. He's been good against left-handed hitters, too, over the years. Here's Will McInerney, who struck out at his first collegiate at bat in the second inning this afternoon. The stretch, the pitch. It hit him. So the Bruins put the leadoff man aboard. That means that each team has had a batter struck by a pitch. Here's leadoff man Daniel Amaral. Amaral is twice grounded out, once the second, one on the shortstop. CSUN had about at least 20 scrimmage games before this season began. And in Coach Greg Moore's words, Kyle Nickel registered more swings and misses in those games than any pitcher on the ball club. First pitch to him, foul back, count goes 0-1. The feeling before the season began is that Nickel will be used primarily as a setup man, brought in for the 5th, 6th, or 7th innings. His dad's a coach, Kyle Nickel. The pitch, round a bunt, gets it down, good bunt. All Nickel can do is go to first base in time. And on the sacrifice, Will McInerney moves to second base. So UCLA trying to pad the 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. And here comes left fielder Brett Stevens. He has struck out swinging and walked. Stevens in 2 for 11 against the Matadors in 2 games last year and this afternoon's game. Sean Bouchard is on deck. Again, a position in the ball game where you begin to kind of manage from the stands or wherever you might be listening to the ball game. Here comes the pitch. That's off the catcher's glove to the backstop. And so that'll be a pass ball, and Albie Weiss allowing McInerney to go to third, and that just spoiled what I was about to say. If McInerney stays at second and Nickel gets Stevens out for the second out of the inning, then you got the option of walking the hot-hitting Sean Bouchard and taking your chances with Michael Tolia, who's been struggling, 4 for 21 so far this year. But now that runner's at third base. However, the Matadors are going to keep the infield back in the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brett Stevens. The CSUN coaches say that Kyle Nickel's understanding of how to field his position is advanced. He's ready. The 1-1 pitch. Missed outside, ball 2, 2-1. Kyle learned to throw from that arm slot from the late outstanding coach over Crespi High and Encino, Scott Muckey. Runner away from third, 1 out, the pitch. Swung on and a fly ball hit to left field. Coming over toward the line, getting under it is Conlon. Makes the catch. Here comes the runner to the plate. He will score easily, and UCLA takes a 3-1 lead. So Stevens hit it deep enough, and even though it was foul, Conlon made the play, and the Bruins turned it into a run without the benefit of a base hit. So the hit batsman comes back to hurt the Matadors. For Brett Stevens, that'll be his 2nd run batted into the year. Remember, McInerney hit by a pitch, was sacrificed to second, while the pass ball got him to third, and the foul fly ball to left got him home. Here's Bouchard. He has singled and walked today, and the first pitch misses to him outside, ball 1. So when the Doors have seen Bouchard the last 2 years, he's 5 hits and 9 at-bats. The pitch. Swung on a smash to third and down the line for a base hit. Conlon will go over to chase this down, and by that time, here's Bouchard into second base with a 2-out double. Yeah, he's a pretty good hitter. That'll bring on Michael Tolia, who's grounded to second and wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play. UCLA 3, CSUN 1, top of the fifth inning. That's 5 hits for the Bruins. Matadors still have only the Albie Weiss home run to show for their hit total. Here's a balk called on Kyle Nickel. So Bouchard goes to third base with 2 outs. And Greg Moore is on the way out to the mound. Maybe to give some advice to the young pitcher. A right-hander gets up in the CSUN bullpen. That's Blake Shriver, another freshman out of Yorba Linda, California. Coach Moore is going to stay with Nickel. Drake Atlee made the start for CSUN today. Went 2 2/3 innings, allowed 2 runs. They were both earned. 3 hits. Struck out 2, walked 3. He's still a pitcher of record. Nickel just gave up the 3rd run to UCLA. Bouchard down the line from third until Leo waiting. The first pitch to him is outside for a ball, and the count goes to 1 ball, no strikes. Tolia standing 6'5". Prees is 6'4". Hooper 6'7". The pitch, a ground ball to first. Riley's got it, kicks the bag for the final out. But UCLA, without a base hit to figure in the scoring, gets a run, leaves a man at third. We have played 4.5 innings. UCLA 3, CSUN 1.
Dedicated to preserving patients' knees, shoulders, and hips, Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute are proud partners of Matador Athletics. By avoiding full knee, shoulder, and hip surgery, LA Orthopedic is able to return each patient to a healthy, active lifestyle with faster rehabilitation and recovery. Dr. Dominic Sisto is the official orthopedic surgeon of CSUN Matador Athletics in 2015 and 16. For more information, visit laortho.org.
UCLA adds a run in the 5th inning and now has a 3-1 lead at CSUN. Coming up for the Matadors in the last of the 5th, it'll be Alex Hall, Nolan Bumstead, and Alvaro Rubalcaba. So big Justin Hooper, with only his 2nd collegiate start, doing a good job. He's limited the Matadors to 1 hit in the first 4 innings. That's the home run to left field by Albie Weiss back in the 2nd. That cut the Bruin lead at the time to 2-1. Hall flied to right his first time up. Alex is 0 for 6 in the early games this season for CSUN. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. Hooper into his windup and the pitch. Hall runs up the bunt, takes one down the middle for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Matadors off for a week after this game. They'll take on these same Bruins over to UCLA next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. We'll have it for you on GoMatadors.com. Here's Hooper's next one. Way outside and high for a ball, 1-1. Hull steps out, now back in. Here's the wind by the big left-hander, the pitch. That's taken down low for a ball, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Bruins have a trip coming up to Tennessee. 3 games at Vanderbilt, March 1st, 4th, and 5th. Here's a ball banged into left field, and there's Alex Hull's first collegiate hit. So a big moment for the young man out of Southern California. And I'm sure they won't retrieve the baseball for him to put on his mantle, but he's very happy to have it. We're happy for him. Now here he is, Nolan Bumstead coming up. He went down a strike swinging, second inning. Means he's 1 for 8 when he's seen UCLA pitching the last 2 seasons. Yeah, Vanderbilt was the national champion in college baseball a couple of years ago. So that'll be a tough series for the Matadors. That's next weekend, after the UCLA game on Tuesday. No, I'm wrong. It's this coming weekend. That's right. I see UCLA on the schedule. I was thinking about the road game. Throw to first, runner back. So this is Tuesday, which means the Bruins have some time off, as well as the Matadors. Here comes the throw to first, and back again is Hall. So that'll be a weekend series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nashville, Tennessee, CSUN and Vanderbilt. No broadcast. Starting times back there will be 2 o'clock on Friday and Saturday and 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Throw to first. Runner gets back again. And all those times are Pacific times that we give you. Game next Tuesday night over at Jackie Robinson Field will be a 6 o'clock start. Bumstead waiting. Here's the pitch. Round a bunt, takes high. Snap throw to first. He's out. So the young catcher McInerney gunned the ball down to his first baseman Bouchard, and they got Hall trying to come back in from the right field side of the bag, and he was called out by Dwayne Finley. So one moment, he celebrated his first collegiate hit, and a few minutes later, he is picked off at first base. Bumstead takes. That is inside. Nolan had a 2-run homer here against Portland on the first games of the season. Matadors won 2 of those 3. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Hooper can go back now to a windup, which he does. And Nolan's taken all the way. It's a strike. And the count is now 2-1. 2 hits in the ball game for the Matadors, but Hull was just picked off first base. Hooper fires. Swung on and a drive to left field down the line in the corner. It is a foul ball. So Nolan, who got all the way to second base, will cut back past the mound, return to the batter's box, and the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. So to repeat, the next home games for the Matadors, March 8th with Holy Cross, 2 o'clock game. March 10th, first game of the Purdue series, 2 o'clock. The next day, 1 o'clock. The day after that, 1 o'clock. And the day after that, noon. Purdue's in the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Matadors have a little revenge in mind. Here comes the pitch. It hit him. Bumstead hit by the pitch. Well, that happened quite frequently to Nolan last year. He was among the team leaders. I think he was hit, let me look it up. I think he was hit 13 times last year. Brandon Berry was hit 14. That's right. And Bumstead's been hit a couple times this year. So that's a big out when Hull got nailed at first base. Otherwise, CSUN would have the tying runs on with nobody out in the fifth inning. Instead, they got Bumstead at first base, one away. And here is Alvaro Rubalcaba, who struck out swinging his first time up. Justin Turner was hit by a Hooper pitch back in the third inning. There was a wild pitch to second with two out, but Fred Smith bounced out to end the inning. All right, here's the pitch. Fastball low inside, bouncing away from the catcher. And down to second base on the wild pitch is Nolan Bumstead. I'm assuming it's a wild pitch. Fastball low and inside, got away. UCLA got its third run of the game in the top half of this inning when Will McInerney was hit by a pitch thrown by Kyle Nickel to begin the inning. A sacrifice to second, went to third on a pass ball and scored on a fly ball into left field. Now the Bruins are going to have a conference on the mound. And they're getting some people up in the bullpen in case they've got to go out and get Hooper. Left-hander throwing on one side, a right-hander on the other. No decision yet, and Hooper will stay in the ball game. Runner at second, Nolan Bumstead, one out in the fifth inning, 3-1 UCLA. And here is Rubalcaba. He has one RBI so far this year. Right-handed batter waiting. Justin Hooper's pitch. That's in for a strike. Count evens, 1-1. Rubalcaba played shortstop when he was at Solano Community College. Helped his team win a league championship. He takes a pitch outside, and the count goes to 2-1. Alvaro has a flat but strong swing. He's usually making contact. They call him a gap-to-gap hitter. Pretty good athlete. Not only played baseball in high school in San Mateo, but also participated in soccer and cross country. He swings and fouls at the plate, and the count evens 2-2. UCLA got two in the second. Weiss hit a solo homer for the Matadors in the bottom of the second. Bruins came back with one here in the fifth. So it's 3-1 UCLA, last the fifth inning. Bumstead takes his lead off a second. Eli Rona is on deck for CSUN. Hooper not ready yet. Kicks away at the pitching rubber. Now the big left-hander, 6'7", ready. The 2-2 pitch, instead he whirls, looks to second, holds the ball. Hooper set, here it comes. There's a base hit into left field. Bumstead had to wait. The ball bobbled momentarily by the left fielder, but they'll wind up with runners at first and third with one out. As Rubalcaba comes up with his fifth hit as a Matador, driving Bumstead to third base. Nolan had to hold for a moment to make sure the ball got through, and so he got a late start, and it's doubtful he would try to score anyway. The left fielder, Brett Stevens, bobbled it momentarily, but not enough to allow either runner to advance. So the tying runs are on for the Matadors in the fifth inning with one out. And here's the ninth place hitter, right fielder Eli Orona, coming up. Eli tried to bunt his way on in the third inning, and the catcher threw him out easily. Arona hitting .333 this season. 5 base hits to show for it. Third baseman Ryan Kreidler is up even with the bag and well off the line. They give Arona right center field as the center fielder, Amaral, played over to left center. Here's the pitch. Squares the bunt, takes it inside, ball one. Here in the inning, Hall single, but he got picked off first by the catcher. Bumstead hit by a pitch, wild pitch to second. Now Rubalcaba singles Nolan to third base. And a runner, the right-handed batter up there waiting. Here's the 1-0 offering. He's taking it, and it cost him. It's in for a called strike, 1-1. Arona out of West Covina, went to San Dimas High School. Hit .255 last year. Streaky hitter. But he's usually got the green light at the plate. Better against left-handed pitchers than right-handers, and here he sees the left-hander, tall Justin Hooper, on the mound. The pitch, round a bunt, and bunts foul. Bumstead was not coming from third base. So that was not a suicide squeeze. It would have been called a safety squeeze. It's a foul ball. So it's 1-2 now. Arona, among other things, was second on the Matadors in strikeouts a year ago. He fanned 25% of the time. 43 strikeouts and just 20 walks. 1 sacrifice fly. 6 sacrifice hits. So he likes to bunt. The pitch. Oh, it slipped out of his hand. They might call that a balk. Hooper was ready to deliver, and the ball came flying out of his hands. We saw the same thing happen here in a recent game, and the umpires called it a balk. But not now. However, the runner at first, Rubalcaba, goes down to second very alertly when the ball came flying out of the left-hander's hand. Hooper had come across his body for the pitch, and all of a sudden that thing came out of there like a shot put. They're going to call it a wild pitch. But Bumstead is still at third, but now 2 men in scoring position for CSUN. And a base hit by Arona might tie the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count. The next pitch, way outside and high, ball 3-3-2. So you get the idea that Justin Hooper is on shaky ground at the moment. He's already been paid 1 visit in this inning, allowed to stay in the game. Justin Turner is on deck, a left-handed batter. All right, the payoff pitch to Eli Arona. Instead, time is called at the plate. We mentioned it earlier. 4 Matador regulars came into the game today hitting 200 or below. Now the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Hit foul off to the right. Nolan Bumstead started the day hitting 200. Nick Sablock, who's being rested today, is at 150. Veteran catcher Dylan Alexander hitting 111. And Riley Conlon, who's in there in left field, was hitting 095 before the UCLA game. Runners at second and third take their leads. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper wide of third. The only throw will be to first base, a high throw. He is out at first. A run is home. And now it's UCLA 3, CSUN 2 as Bumstead scores. Arona will pick up an RBI, a high bouncer to the left side. The third baseman, Ryan Kreidler, gloved it and then took a swipe at Alvaro Rubalcaba coming by him, missed him, and then he went ahead and made the throw to first to get Arona. So again, it's a 1-run ball game. Tying run is now 90 feet away for CSUN. Arona's getting his second RBI of the season, and here is Justin Turner. He's been called on the strikes and hit by a pitch. Hooper's pitch. Fastball just inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Justin, a 5'10", 165-pound junior from Temecula, California. This year he's been moved from the middle of the batting order to the leadoff spot. One reason is he's improved his ability to take pitches. Here comes the next one. A line drive up the middle. Shortstop's got it. The throw to first is just in time to nail him. I think the pitcher, Hooper, almost snagged it. It went by him, and his shortstop, Nick Valleca, was there to make the play. CSUN gets one run on one hit and leaves the tying run at third base. We go to the sixth inning. UCLA 3, CSUN 2.
It's your imagination. Biology just feeds it. The best pizza you're ever going to eat is the official pizza of CSUN Athletics. Now open in Northridge, pizza lovers know Biology creates artisan-style custom pizzas. 50 unlimited toppings, house-made crust, and signature sauces, all for one affordable price even matadors can sink their teeth into. Cooked in an 800-degree open-flame deck oven, ready in about 5 minutes. So for a delicious pie, fresh garden salad, and an ice-cold beer, check out Biology on the corner of Reseda and Nordoff. As good as a game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer.
We've played 5 innings today at Matador Field in Northridge, California. Good ball game. Hope you're enjoying it on GoMatadors.com. I'm Ross Porter. Thanks for being with us. CSUN getting a little bit closer, but UCLA still has the 3-2 advantage after 5 innings. Now in the 6th, it'll be Nick Valleca, Jake Prees, and Chase Strumpf to bat for the Bruins. Valleca has doubled, scored a run, had a stolen base in that second inning that got him to third, and then grounded out to end the third inning. Kyle Nichols still out there pitching for CSUN. His first one's a strike on the outside corner. On a count 0-1. Drake Atlee made the start for CSUN, went 2 2/3 innings. And Nickel came on in the third. Freshman right-hander set, the next pitch. Swung on, a fly ball to left, is going to fall for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Here is Valleca into second base with his second double of the afternoon. And UCLA puts the leadoff man aboard again. That is the third hit off Kyle Nickel. 2 of them doubles. The other by Sean Bouchard in the last inning. All right, here's Jake Prees. He's fouled out and popped up. Albie Weiss out to the mound to talk to Kyle Nickel. UCLA has led 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, now 3-2. Prees serving as the designated hitter today. Waiting at the plate. 6'4", 215-pound sophomore from San Juan Capistrano, California. Nichols' pitch. Down low for a ball. Prees only hit .209 for the Bruins last year. He made 11 starts. Was in 29 games overall. Went 9 for 43 with 3 RBIs. But they say Jake has improved his hitting since last year. He had the game-winning home run against Gonzaga Sunday and 2 singles in that game. Tough out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside and high for a ball. Nice save by Albie Weiss, who immediately asked for time. I don't know whether he got crossed up by Nickel or not, but he's going to go out and talk to the young right-hander right here. CSUN starts today with a record of 3-4. UCLA 4-2. Three runs, 6 hits, no errors for UCLA. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for CSUN. Top of the 6th inning. Now the stretch. And the pitch. Down low for a ball. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes to Prees. The 7th place hitter, Jace Strupp, is on deck. The next one. Inside, ball 4. And the Bruins now put runners at first and second with nobody out in the 6th inning. That is the first walk of the day by Nickel, and it brings Greg Moore to the mound. Out in the CSUN bullpen, Blake Shriver's getting ready for the second time this afternoon. And here he comes. So Nickel goes 2 1/3 innings for the Matadors. He allows at least one run that was earned. He gave up 3 hits, including the 2 doubles. He had 1 strikeout. He had 1 walk, and he hit a batter. And now the Doors will turn to their 3rd pitcher of the afternoon. We told you that UCLA has already been involved in 4 one-run games. They've split them so far. And here they are today at Northridge. They hit 3-2 in the 6th inning. And Shriver's in the pitch. Blake, a 6-foot, 162-pound freshman out of a Yorba Linda High School in Southern California, went to Esperanza High. He earned 13 wins on the varsity team at Esperanza, had a ERA of 1.97 in high school, had 151 strikeouts. In fact, that was a very good Esperanza team. In a 3-year stretch, they won 50 games. And Blake was the Crestview League Pitcher of the Year last year. So Atlee, Nickel, and now Shriver have pitched for CSUN. UCLA has Nick Valeka at second base, Jake Preece at first with nobody out. And Chase Strumpf coming up. He walked, stolen a base, scored a run, and then singled his last time up. Weiss out for a last-minute chat with Blake Shriver. You know, during our broadcast this year, we'll update you on former Matador players, where they are and what they're doing. You know, the last few years, the shortstop position was manned by Yusei Akitoshi. He had a good career here, offensively and defensively. Yusei returned to his native Japan after graduating from CSUN. He's working for Mitsubishi and still playing baseball in the semi-pro league. All right, Shriver is ready. Chase Strumpf stands in from the right side. Let's see if he's bunting here with 2 on, nobody out. 1-run ball game. Yep, he's around a bunt. Gets the bunt down, and it's a beauty. The only play will be from the pitcher over to the first baseman. Valeka will go to third. Preece to second. Strumpf does his job admirably. And now with only 1 out in the inning, it's up to Ryan Kreidler and or Will McInerney to add to the UCLA lead. Strumpf placed that ball perfectly up on the left side. Shriver had to come down and field it. His only play was back to first base to Kevin Riley. Matadors keep the infield back. Ryan Kreidler has singled in 2 runs back in the 2nd inning and then struck out into a double play in the 4th inning. Shriver stretches. Here's the pitch. Chased and missed. A good sinker. And the count is 0-1. 3-2 UCLA, top of the 6th inning. Kreidler, the freshman out of Davis, waiting at the plate. The offering. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2. A double, a walk, a sacrifice hit. 2-minute scoring position for the Bruins, trying to stretch their 3-2 lead in the 6th inning. Shriver looking for a strikeout right here. Ahead on the count 0-2. He delivers. And got him looking. Strike 3 called, outside corner. Great location. Here's your second out. And here is the catcher, Will McInerney. McInerney is struck out swinging. Then was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. Was sacrificed to second. Took third on a pass ball and rode home on Brett Stevens' fly ball to left field. That's the third UCLA run, and that's the difference in the game right now. Let's see if the Bruins are going to go to the bench here. And, Kyle Cuellar is going to come up and hit for Will McInerney. Kyle is another UCLA freshman, 6 foot, 182 pounder, out of Arcadia, California. Went to LaSalle High School here in the Southland. And Kyle Cuellar played second base and the outfield in high school. He's a left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike. Shriver trying to pitch the Matadors out of trouble here in the 6th inning. When I hear the name Cuellar, I think of the fine left-handed pitcher of the Baltimore Orioles for many years, Mike Cuellar. Now the 0-1 pitch. That's strike 2 called. 0-2. When CSUN bats in the bottom of the 6th, Fred Smith, Riley Conlon, and Kevin Riley coming up. And if anybody gets on, Albie Weiss, who's already hit a home run today. 2 strikes to count. Now the stretch. Time call. Shriver wants a new baseball. So Nick Valeka is the runner at third base. Jake Prees is at second for the Bruins. 2 outs, top of the 6th. 3-2 UCLA. Shriver set. Long look. Too long. Time call at the plate. Shriver took a glance at the third base runner, Nick Valeka, and then back to the plate and just held that ball. And Cuellar got the time. Now we're ready. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cuellar, one of 15 freshmen on this year's UCLA baseball team. He's waiting to count 1-2. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. 2 men in scoring position with 2 gone in the 6th. Shriver's ready. Here it comes. Low. Nice block by Weiss. Batted it up the first base line about 20 feet. Was after it. And the UCLA runners could not advance. The count's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. UCLA opened the season sweeping 2 from San Jose State. Third game was rained out. Then they lost a tough one to UC Riverside. And then came back last weekend to capture 2 of 3 against Gonzaga. 4 one-run games. 2 wins, 2 losses. Shriver's set. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So UCLA wastes the leadoff double, followed by the walk. 2 men left in scoring position. And through 5.5 innings. UCLA 3, CSUN 2.
In-N-Out Genuine Radio presents What Real Tastes Like.
The classic double-double.
2 pieces of meat, cheese, fresh tomatoes, and lettuce. It's perfect.
I don't know what they put in it, but it must be pieces of heaven.
The juiciest, tastiest burger you will ever have.
I love it so much.
Just deliciousness.
The ultimate burger.
Genuine people, genuine food, genuine passion. It's what's made In-N-Out, In-N-Out since 1948.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
An outstanding relief job by Blake Shriver in the 6th inning after UCLA stationed runners at second and third with one out. And Shriver came back to fan both Ryan Kreidler and Kyle Cuellar to get out of the jam and keep it a one-run ball game. UCLA 3, CSUN 2. By the way, after the game today, it'll be Meet the Matadors, a chance for you to hear one of the CSUN players. And it's a fine group of young men, I can tell you that from spending time with them so far this year. UCLA will now go to the bullpen and bring on right-hander Moises Saya, a 6-foot, 179-pound senior out of Arleta, California. Went to Kennedy High School out there. And for the Matadors, Fred Smith will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Moises Saya had the best earned run average on the UCLA pitching staff last year, 2.6. He had a record of 2-1 with 4 saves, was in 25 games, all in relief. Went 27 2/3 innings, allowed 1 home run in that time. And his first one to Smith. Fred takes it in for a strike, knee high, 0-1. Smith is lined to center, bounced to third. Moises has a strikeout pitch, 23 Ks last year in almost 28 innings, and he walked 11. Here he comes. And there's a fly ball hit out to left center field and deep. Way back it goes, and it is gone. A home run by Fred Smith to tie the game. The second home run of the game for the Matadors. And Fred Smith goes the other way to belt his first home run this season. And so the Matadors get even. First time they've been tied since it was going to the top of the 2nd inning. And Fred rides it out. Not known for his power, but he was up there from his favorite left side, and he delivered the long ball. All right, here's Riley Conlon, called out on strikes and walked. So that means that Drake Atlee cannot be the loser for the Matadors. Neither can Justin Hooper be the winner for UCLA. Here's a fly ball to right field. And this ball will drop in for a base hit. So Conlon needed a hit. Remember, he was 2 for 22 as he came to the plate. Gets a little bloop single into right field. And Kevin Riley steps in. He's popped up and bounced into a double play. So CSUN has erased a pair of 2-run deficits in this game. They trailed 2-0 and then 3-1. Now they're even at 3-3. And it looks like we're going to have another pitching change for UCLA. UCLA won 25 games last year. Their bullpen, though, struggled. ERA almost 5. CSUN, meanwhile, won 33 games for the 2nd year in a row. So it was not a good outing today for Mr. Saya. He allowed the tying home run to Fred Smith and then the bloop single to Riley Conlon. Got nobody out. He's gone. This might be Ryan Garcia. His number is obscured because he's behind a couple of his teammates out there on the mound. No, it's Matt Walker. So Matt Walker moves on to the mound. He's a 6'4", 200-pound redshirt sophomore from Fresno, California. Went to Clovis North High School up there. So Fred Smith goes the other way for a long home run to tie the game at 3. Riley Conlon didn't hit it hard, but got a bloop single in the right. All of a sudden, CSUN has the go-ahead run on base with nobody out in the 6th inning in a 3-3 tie. UCLA's bullpen held Gonzaga scoreless Sunday for 5 innings and yielded only 2 hits. Nick Scheidler, a freshman, turned in 1 2/3 innings to earn his first collegiate victory. So Walker with his 8 warm-up tosses. Beautiful day for baseball. Blue skies overhead, temperature around 60 degrees. That wind's about 10 miles per hour. Looks to be blowing in now. Here comes Kevin Riley. He's had 8 hits in his last 14 at-bats for the Matadors. Trying to advance Riley Conlon, who's at first base with nobody out. That was a double switch. Daniel Rosica now is taken over behind the plate as the catcher. He's the regular catcher for UCLA. Of course, Cuellar batted for McInerney, who came out of the game. First pitch chased and missed by Riley. It was down and away from him. No balls and 1 strike the count. Matadors 3, Bruins 3. Last of the 6th inning at Northridge. Fred Smith's homer has tied it for CSUN. And here's a ball that's hit foul over by third. So no balls and 2 strikes. The count to Kevin Riley. Albie Weiss out on deck. Boy, it's a shame that Kyle Molnar has been lost for the year to the UCLA pitching staff. He is a good one. As is Griffin Canning, and we have not seen him the last 2 years. 2 strikes to count. Right-handed hitter, waiting at the plate, Riley. And a throw to first. Ball gets away. And while it's chased down by Sean Bouchard, taking second on the throw error is Riley Conlon. So that really serves the same purpose as a sacrifice hit. Now, the Matadors have the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out. And let's see if that changes the CSUN strategy. Would they ask their cleanup hitter to perhaps bunt here and get that lead run to third base? Here's the stretch and Matt Walker's pitch. Ground ball wide of third, batted down by Kryler, picks it up, fires to first, and got his man. And that does not advance Conlon. So Riley pull the ball, and that's the one thing they didn't want him to do, at least if it's not a hit. So the runner can't go anywhere off second. And here's Albie Weiss. He is homered and bounced to third. Albie with his 3rd home run against UCLA in the last 2 years here this afternoon. Came in the 2nd inning with UCLA leading 2-0. Nobody on. He takes a strike. Count is 0-1. Three tie. Runner at second for the Matadors and 1 out. Walker set. Here's his pitch. Fastball is low and outside. We'd like to update you on NCAA baseball rules. Here's one. When a fielder attempting to catch a wild throw collides with a runner, initial tangling is not obstruction. You think about a collision at second base, for instance. The next pitch, swung on and missed. Weiss Chase went away from him. And he's behind on the count 1-2. Final day of February. One out. Runner at second for CSUN. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Weiss. A ground ball to shortstop. Batted down by the shortstop. Here is Vallecas on the first in time. And Conley couldn't go anywhere on that ground ball. So the Doors had a man at second with nobody out, but Riley and Weiss both pulled ground balls to the left side and were retired. Now it's up to a pinch hitter, Will. Colin Tanoa is going to come up and bat for the freshman Alex Hull. Will, a very popular player of this CSUN team. He's going to be a 4-year varsity letterman. And he's off to a good start. Will has 5 hits in his first 7 at-bats this year. And he's been on base 6 times in 8 at-bats. All those in the Towson series. He was also hit by a pitch and walked in that series. So as he comes in to bat from the left side, Will Colantino has an on-base percentage of a modest 778. In other words, he's been on base 78% of his at-bats. Will, out of Escondido, 6'3", 180-pounder. Missed most of last year with a shoulder injury. Made some dazzling plays at second base over the weekend for the Matadors. Trying to give CSUN the lead. Here's the pitch. Bouncing away from the catcher. Rosica chases it down, and over to third base goes Riley Conlon. Matadors left Rubalcaba at third base in the last inning, and that'll be a pass ball. One ball and no strikes. So Colin Tanoa, here's the pitch. Check swing. It's low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Will only had 14 at-bats last year after he hurt the shoulder. But he used a medical red shirt for last season, and that's why he's back this year. Year before, he made 52 starts, primarily at third base. Hit 280. The 2-0 pitch, around a butt. Takes low, ball 3, 3-0. In Big West Conference games in 2015 when he was a junior, Will led the Matadors in batting with a 346 average. Looking for a base hit here now to give his team the lead. 3-0 pitch. He's taking it. It's a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. Will's desire is to one day be a police officer. Great spirit, great attitude. They count 3-1 to him. Here comes the pitch. Check swing. Inside, ball 4. So the Matadors have runners at the corners with 2 out. And let's see who's going to come up now. Nolan Bumstead is due up, and he is swinging in the on-deck circle, and here he comes. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's taken us about 2 hours and 10 minutes to get here. Lovely day for baseball. Collins just went down to second base. They weren't watching him. So there's a breakdown. And all of a sudden, CSUN's got 2 men in scoring position. Bumstead waiting. Here's the pitch. Nolan takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Bumstead struck out swinging his first time up, then was hit by a pitch. Wild pitch to second and scored on an infield ground out in the fifth inning. Runners at second and third for CSUN in a 3-3 tie. Sixth inning. Bumstead with 2 RBIs on the year takes a pitch outside, and that makes the count 1-1. Nolan had a 2-run homer here against Portland early in the season. Matt Walker on in relief for UCLA. Checks the runners. Comes to the plate. It's swung on, a ground ball into center field. Base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes another man to plate. He'll score. Center fielder bobbles the ball to throw to second. Is apparently not in time. And the Matadors have jumped ahead 5-3 on a clutch. 2 out. 2-run single by Nolan Bumstead, who came into the game today hitting only 200. And there are his 3rd and 4th RBI of the season. It'll be an error. And then the error on the center fielder, but it still should be 2 runs batted in because Will Colantonio was going to score anyway despite the bobble. So I don't know what UCLA was thinking about. They just kind of dropped their heads, and Will took off for second and made it, and now scores a run. Heads-up play. CSUN scored 3 runs in the 6th to assume a 5-3 lead over UCLA. Here now is Alvaro Rubalcaba with a runner at second. He grounds one up the middle for another base hit. Around third, headed home. And scoring is Bumstead at 6-3 CSUN. And Rubalcaba with his second single in 2 innings picks up his second RBI of the year. And it's a 4-run 6th inning for the Matadors that shoves them ahead 6-3. So some clutch hits here in the 6th inning. The 2-out base hit by Bumstead that brought home 2 and cracked the 2-2 tie. The error got him to second. And then the RBI single up the middle by Rubalcaba. So 4 hits in the inning, a home run by Smith that started all, and then 3 singles. And Matt Walker has not been the answer out of that UCLA bullpen. Here is Eli Arona. 0 for 2 today with an RBI ground out in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. So CSUN, which had a very difficult time in the early season protecting leads, has come from a couple runs behind twice today to assume this 3-run advantage, but it's only the 6th inning. The next pitch from Walker. Swung on, foul tipped out of the glove of the catcher. And the count goes to 0-2. Matador 6, Bruins 3. Coming to you from Matador Park in Northridge, California. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball wide at third. Glove by the third baseman. Kreidler gets up, goes to first, and that's a beautiful play to end the inning. Arona robbed of a base hit as Kreidler, diving to his right, kept it from going down the line, got to his feet, and made the accurate throw. However, CSUN comes up with 4 runs on 4 hits, an error, a man left. We go to the 7th inning in Northridge. CSUN 6, UCLA 3.
Planning a group event can be an enormous undertaking. Whether it's a work meeting, sporting event, or a family reunion, simplify your event planning with HotelPlanner.com. We're #1 in group travel. We'll work with you and the hotels to get you the finest hotel, best prices, and group booking policies available. And as the leading provider in group planning, our professional team members will plan your event at no charge and offer the lowest group rates guaranteed. Visit us at HotelPlanner.com. #1 in group travel.
CSUN comes up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to take a 6-3 lead over UCLA today. And right now, the pitcher's of record would be Blake Shriver for CSUN. And it would be the fellow who really had a tough time, Moises Saya, allowing a home run and a single to the 2 batters he faced there in the 6th inning. Now in the 7th, it's leadoff man Daniel Amaral to lead it off for the Bruins. Blake Shriver fires and stayed inside, ball 1. Shriver did some nifty pitching in the last inning. When he came on, the Bruins had runners at second and third, nobody out, or 1 out on the sacrifice hit. And he struck out both Ryan Kreidler and the pinch hitter Kyle Cuellar to get out of it. Next pitch misses. That's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Can the Bruins come from behind? Can the Matadors hold on to a lead? 2 questions to be answered. Connor O'Neill gets up in the CSUN bullpen. Amaral takes a strike, 2-1. Daniel has bounced out twice and sacrificed today. His dad is Rich Amaral. He also had a brother, Bo, so they got a UCLA background. Shriver's 2-1 pitch, a bunt out in front of the plate, on at Weiss. The fire to first is in time, just got him. Good play. So we've seen a lot of bunt attempts today. Some have worked, some have not. 1 away, top of the 7th. Here's Brett Stevens for the 4th time. Stevens is fly to left that picked up an RBI in the 5th inning. It was a sacrifice fly, so no official at bat, of course. Earlier he struck out and he walked, so he's 0 for 1. Has a stolen base in this ball game. Left-handed batter waiting. Shriver's first pitch is inside, ball 1, 1-0. What an ideal day to watch a baseball game. Now the stretch by Blake Shriver. And the 1-0 pitch. That's high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Matadors trying to get to 500 on the season, trying to level things at 4-4 and drop UCLA to 4-3. And remember, these clubs match up again Tuesday night. Next pitch, just inside, ball 3. So Shriver is behind Stevens with the tough man, Sean Bouchard, on deck. Shriver trying to throw a strike here. Can't do it. Missed high, ball 4. So Stevens gets his second walk of the game. 1 on, 1 out for Bouchard, who has singled, walked, and doubled. They haven't gotten him yet. Sean Bouchard is now 6 for 10 against CSUN the last 2 years, covering 3 games. Bouchard was left at third base in the 5th inning. Greg Moore is going to the plate umpire. Chuck Lyon, that means going to have, I think, a double switch. We'll have a new pitcher coming in and probably another position player. Eli Rona made the last out at the bottom of the 6th. Let's see if he stays in. And it looks like it's going to be Connor O'Neill who'll come on. One on and 1 out here in the 7th inning. CSUN 6, UCLA 3. Justin Turner's running in from center field. Now, Justin's done some pitching this year. And he trades gloves with one of his teammates who brings him a new glove out of the dugout. And let's see who else that's going in there for CSUN. That's going to be Nick Sablock, who go to right field. So sure enough, Eli Arona comes out. And Shriver is through for the day. He could still win the ball game if the Matadors hold on to this lead. Shriver then went 1 1/3 innings. Can't close the book on him because Stevens is his responsibility over at first base. Blake had 2 strikeouts and 2 walks today. Now, Arona's now going to move from right field to center field. That figures. Then Turner comes in from center field. It makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? So, Justin Turner with another chance to do a little pitching. You know, Justin has played such outstanding defense in center field for CSUN. A lot of people are surprised that he is now also a pitcher. And that all happened over the summer. He got a chance to do some pitching in the summer league, liked it, and so did Greg Moore when he got here. And Greg said, I'm going to put him in some games this year because he's one of only 3 left-handers on the staff. And so here he is. Justin Turner's got an 84 to 86 mile per hour fastball. He throws what the coaches call a darting changeup that he can throw to both sides of the plate at 2 different speeds. So 1-on-1 out for UCLA in the 7th, 6-3 Matadors, and here is Bouchard. And Turner's first pitch is down low, ball 1. Justin began pitching this summer in the Northwoods Collegiate League, which is a very good summer league. His cutter is a late breaking pitch that moves laterally. And there it is, swung on, popped up by Bouchard, but foul and out of play. The Matador coaches feel that Justin Turner could come in and pitch in different roles. And they just showed why they think it's very feasible. They've got the depth with outfielders like Eli Arona to allow Justin to pitch as long as his arm stays strong. Bouchard hits a fly ball to deep left field, way back at the wall. It is gone. A home run for Sean Bouchard. And now it's CSUN 6, UCLA 5. For Bouchard, that will be his 3rd home run this season. He'll pick up 2 RBIs here. That gives him 8 for the season. And he's been on base all 4 times this afternoon at Matador Park. A single, a walk, a double, and now a home run. And that 3-run lead for the Matadors shrinks to 1. Turner, the 4th pitcher of the game for the Doors, gives up the dinger. So now we can close the book on Shriver. He is charged with 1 run. All 4 Matador pitchers have given up runs today, but they're still ahead 6-5. Here is Michael Tolia turning around about right-handed for the first time. And Turner gets it in for a strike. The next one's a fastball, good call, strike 2. Had a little heat on that. It's the outside corner, belt high, 0-2. Tolia has grounded out 3 times today. In his middle at bat, he bounced into double play. Justin Turner's pitch, high and away with the fastball, 1-2. So here in the inning, Amaral tried to bunt his way on, but Weiss threw him out. Brett Stevens got a walk, and Sean Bouchard hit it out to left field. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout for Turner, and there's the second out of the 7th inning. Now here's Nick Valeka. He has doubled, grounded out, and doubled again. Six runs, 7 hits, no errors for CSUN. 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for UCLA. And the first pitch to Nick Valleca is swung on and missed, strike one. Valleca, out of Hart High School in Southern California, lives in Valencia. Runs up, takes a strike. And Turner's ahead of him 0-2. Nick's older brother, Pat Valleca, played on UCLA's national championship team in 2013. This young man, a sophomore, a very good defensive shortstop. Here's the pitch, very high, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Valleca has good instincts, tough out, competitive. Here's the next one. Swung on and missed. Turner strikes him out on a sinker. So first, the 2-run homer given up by Turner to Bouchard, followed by strikeouts of Tolia and Valleca. 2 runs home on 1 hit for UCLA in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch time at Matador Field. CSUN 6, UCLA 5.
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
Fans standing for the 7th inning stretch in Northridge. Good ball game. CSUN 6 and UCLA 5 as we work our way to the last of the 7th inning. And the Bruins will bring on a new pitcher. He's a left-hander. Looks like it's Nick Scheidler. 6'2", 184-pound freshman out of Encinitas, California. The Matadors ready to send up Justin Turner, Fred Smith, and Riley Conlon in the bottom of 7th. Nick Scheidler, one of the 15 freshmen on the UCLA baseball team. Justin Turner started the game in center field, came in the pitcher in the 7th inning. He leads it off. Today's been caught on strikes, been hit by a pitch, and rolled out to shortstop. So it's left-hander against left-hander in this spot. The first one, breaking ball low inside, ball 1. Matador scored 4 runs on 4 hits in the 6th. They sent 8 men to the plate. Only Justin Turner didn't bat in that frame. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Down low, ball 2, 2-0. Fred Smith on deck. It was Fred's home run that launched the comeback in the 6th inning. Tied the game at 3. Later, Nolan Bumstead had a clutch 2-out, 2-run single. And then Alvaro Rubalcaba singled in another run, thanks to the alert base running of Will Colantino, who got credit for a stolen base when the Bruins went to sleep and let him go from first to second. Turner takes a strike, 2-1. Justin steps out. Now he's back in. The pitch. Fastball is looped back a shortstop. Going out to make the running catch one-handed is Nick Valleca. 1 out. Here is Fred Smith. Fred lost a base hit in the first inning on a nice diving catch by Daniel Amaral in center. Later he grounded to third, and then he unloaded the opposite field home run in the sixth inning. Tied the game at 3. The first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. Each side has used 4 pitchers this afternoon. We're in the last of the 7th inning. CSUN 6, UCLA 5. Next pitch, around a bunt. Smith takes outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fred Smith has lived in Honolulu, in Northern California, and Redondo Beach. He gets a change up, swings, and fouls it. They count 1-2. Smith is one of 5 seniors on the CSUN team. 5'9", 170-pounder. Transferred here from El Camino College. The count, 1-2, the pitch, low, bouncing away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fred played a solid second base last year, turned 30 double plays, and made only 6 errors while appearing in all 55 Matador games. He has slowed down on defense, the coaches say, this year. He's not rushing laterally as much, and he's at the shortstop position now. Scheidler's 2-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball, bounce to the left side. And it gets through into left field, and Smith's aboard. The third baseman, Kreidler, cut in front of the shortstop, Valeka, and somehow the ball got between them. So Smith has his second hit of the game. And the Doors have a runner with 1 out in the 7th, and here's Riley Conlon. Conlon's been called out on strikes, walked, singled, and scored one of those 4 runs in the last inning when CSUN overcame a 3-2 deficit to take the lead 6-3. Sean Bouchard came back to hit a 2-run homer for UCLA in the top of the 7th to make it a 1-run game. So here's Riley Conlon waiting. And a throw go to first. Smith gets back. Smith likes to run. Held on to first base by Sean Bouchard. High set. Another throw to first. Smith back. Fred Smith last year stole 8 bases in 10 tries. One on, 1 out, 7th inning. Matadors lead by a run. Third throw to first. Smith didn't have to leave his feet that time, back in. We mentioned earlier that Fred Smith led CSUN in hits last year with 75. That was 17 more than the runner-up. And here he is with 2 hits today. He has 9 hits this year. Pitch in for a called strike. And it's 0-1 to Riley Conlon. Conlon wearing the number 9 as he did in high school over at Chatsworth. The stretch and a pitch. High chopper down to second. Chance for a double play. They tag Smith. They go to first. It's too late. So Chase Strumpf, the second baseman, came in to field the high bouncer. He had Smith running right in front of him, so he tagged him. But he could not double up Conlon. 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first base. And here is Kevin Riley. Riley, the top hitter among the regulars for CSUN, has failed to hit the ball in the infield today in 3 tries. Popped to third, grounded into a 1-6-3 double play, and then bounced out to third base. And let's see, we're going to have a new pitcher coming on for UCLA in this spot. So that's the second time in the last 2 innings that Riley Conlon has been the last CSUN batter to face a UCLA pitcher right before a pitching change. Scott Burke is coming in. 6'3", 197-pound senior, right-hander, out of Glendora, California. Went to Glendora High. And he becomes the 5th UCLA hurler of the day. CSUN 6, UCLA 5 as we play in the bottom of the 7th inning in Northridge. When the Bruins bat in the 8th, do send up Jake Prees, Chase Strumpf, and Ryan Kreidler. Scott Burke did some good pitching over the weekend against Gonzaga and brought in here trying to hold CSUN, stop him from scoring again. Scott was 2-2 last year for UCLA, ERA 4.38. Appeared in 27 games, all in relief, worked 37 innings, had 30 strikeouts, walked 18, gave up 5 home runs, hit 6 batters, and threw 3 wild pitches. So now he'll look at Kevin Riley with Riley Conlon, the Matador base runner, at first base. 2 outs. Conlon reaches down with his left hand, gets some dirt, now climbs in. Burke reading his catcher, Rosica. Here's the pitch. In for a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Riley. Six runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Matadors. 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Bruins. Bottom of 7th inning. The next one to Riley. Fastball bouncing all the way to the backstop. Another wild pitch. Down to second goes Conlon. And another chance for the Matadors to add to their lead. That is the second wild pitch today by UCLA hurler. They've also hit 2 batters. Count to Riley, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kevin transferred to CSUN from Chaffey College, where he spent time at third base and shortstop. Checks his swing. They'll appeal to first. No swing, says Dwayne Finley. It's 2-1. In his final year out at Chaffey, Riley hit .392 last year with 8 homers, 20 doubles, 56 RBI. He was the Foothill Conference MVP. Greg Moore thinks he can hit 10 home runs for the Matadors this year. He's already hit 1 on opening day. Strong hands. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss around late. 2-2. Riley at times will have trouble with a good changeup. But the Matador coaches want Kevin to work on hitting the ball up the middle more. (6-5) CSUN, 7th inning. Conlon takes his lead at second base. The pitch. Swung on, lifted foul outside of first. Doubtful. and back out of play. What does Kevin Riley do before games to relax? He listens to classical music. In fact, he plays the piano. In his first game against opposition in a CSUN uniform the other day, Riley homered and doubled twice against Portland. Pretty good start. Trying to pick up Conlon here. Here's the stretch. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Sinker in the dirt. Rosica picks it up and throws him out at first base. No runs ahead, a man left. At the end of 7 innings, CSUN 6, UCLA 5.
The Sundial is more than just a great print newspaper. The Student Newsroom is your connection to CSUN every day, online, on the app, or on social media. Send us a snap, ask a question on Twitter, tag us on Instagram, and read the latest news, sports, and event guides right from your phone. We love to hear from you. Take a picture and tag the Sundial from the game or anytime.
We're going to the 8th inning in Northridge. Ross Porter with you today on GoMatadors.com, where you'll be hearing the CSUN UCLA game next Tuesday night. It'll start with the Greg Moore Show around 5:48. Game time will be 6 o'clock over at Jackie Robinson Field. 6-5, CSUN in front of UCLA, but Matadors have had trouble here in the late innings this year, protecting leads. Justin Turner is back on the mound, getting ready to face Jake Parise, Chase Strumpf, and Ryan Kreidler. Out in the left field bullpen, Connor O'Neill gets up for the second time this afternoon. Jake Parise, the DH this afternoon, has fouled out to the catcher, popped up to second, and walked. Turner's pitch, fastball away, ball 1 ball, no strikes. They say Jake Parise is a much tougher hitter this year than he was last year. We bat 209. He fouls one onto the screen and count 1 ball, 1 strike. If you joined us late, UCLA scored 2 in the top of the second. Albie Weiss hit a bases empty homer for the Doors in the bottom of the second. Each team got a run in the 5th. CSUN got 4 in the 6th to go ahead 6-3. And Sean Bouchard hit a 2-run homer for UCLA in the 7th to make it close. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Parise. Atley, Nickel, Shriver, and Turner have pitched for CSUN. Here comes the next one. Swung on and lifted to right center field and deep. Arona going over. The center fielder makes a one-handed catch as he reached the warning track. So Parise hit it a long way, only to be robbed of a base hit. One away for Jay Strumpf. Strumpf has walked, stolen a base in the second inning, scored a run. Singled in the 4th, sacrificed in the 6th. The first one, low inside for a ball. You look back at the ball game, and in the 6th inning, UCLA already had 3-2, had a chance to get more. They had runners at first and second, nobody out. Second and third with 1 out. And Blake Shriver struck out both Kreidler and Cuellar to get out of it without further damage. And it was then that the Matadors came up and got their 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Fred Smith hitting a home run to start it to tie the game. 2 balls, no strikes to count. The next pitch, it fell back out of play. 2-1. After Smith homered, Riley Conlon got a base hit. Then there was a throwing error by the pitcher. 2 ground outs, but then a walk, a freaky stolen base by Colatano when UCLA forgot about him, and that paid off when Bumstead singled in 2, took second on error and scored on Rubicalba's base hit. That made it 6-3, and UCLA back on the Bouchard homer for a couple in the 7th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit to left field, but foul. So it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. After the game, stay tuned for Meet the Matadors. A chat with one of the CSUN players today. Think you'll enjoy it. Justin Turner said, here comes the pitch. Very high for a ball and another full count, 3-2. CSUN pitchers have walked 4 this afternoon. 2 of those men scored. The next one, breaking ball, swung on and missed, struck him out, and he threw him a good-looking breaking ball to get him. Turner with his 3rd strikeout. He has faced 5 batters, allowed a home run, a deep fly ball to center here in the inning, and 3 Ks. You never know. A noted defensive center fielder becomes a very effective left-handed relief pitcher. 2 out, bases empty for Ryan Kreidler, who has a single, 2 RBIs, struck out into a double play and was called out on strikes. And I think they're going to go down to the bullpen. Greg Moore's out there, and yep, they're going to bring Connor O'Neill in. Connor O'Neill, the man who has set the CSUN record for saves in a single season and in a career. But overall, what a nice job today by Justin Turner. He would like to have that pitch back that he threw to Sean Bouchard that resulted in the 2-run homer. He'll be charged with 1 run, but he goes an inning and a third, and as he comes out of the ball game, all his teammates step out in front of that third base dugout to welcome him back. They appreciate his effort. So here is Connor O'Neill. Connor had 12 saves 2 years ago. That set the school record for 1 year. He added 10 more last year, the 22 an all-time saves record for the Matadors. He'll be looking at Ryan Kreidler when he finishes his warm-up tosses. Connor O'Neill has a fastball that will range anywhere from 88 to 92 miles per hour. A changeup that sets up that fastball, an 80-mile-per-hour curve, which some people think might be Connor's best out pitch. But he could throw any pitch for a strike. He is fearless. He's got pretty good deception out there. He can get away with a flat pitch. Usually good location. And the best pickoff move of any Matador pitcher. 2 years ago, opposing batters hit 190 against O'Neill. Last season, they batted 214. Not only did he have the 10 saves last year, he had 5 wins. So he figured in 15 of the Matadors' 33 victories. So here comes Kreidler. Connor was drafted by the Detroit Tigers last June in the 32nd round of the draft, but he decided to come back to CSUN. He's the young man out of Washington State who was never offered a Division I scholarship. The right-hander's first pitch, and that's down low for a ball to Ryan Kreidler. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 out, nobody on, top of the 8th. CSUN 6, UCLA 5. O'Neill winds and delivers. Nice little slow breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. O'Neill, a 6'2", 190-pound senior out of Kittiwake, Washington. Spent some time at Central Arizona College before coming here. And his pitch, half swing, no swing, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Kreidler. Kreidler, big, strong right-handed batter waiting. O'Neill reaches in the glove, building into the windup, and the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a bouncer to the left side, cut off by the third baseman. Bumstead's throw is on target, and UCLA goes in order in the 8th inning. We played 7.5 in Northridge. CSUN 6, UCLA 5.
Dedicated to preserving patients' knees, shoulders, and hips, Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute are proud partners of Matador Athletics. By avoiding full knee, shoulder, and hip surgery, LA Orthopedic is able to return each patient to a healthy, active lifestyle with faster rehabilitation and recovery. Dr. Dominic Sisto is the official orthopedic surgeon of CSUN Matador Athletics in 2015 and 16. For more information, visit laortho.org.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning in Northridge. CSUN 6, UCLA 5. The Matadors trying to beat the Bruins for the third straight time over the last two seasons. CSUN won in this ballpark a year ago, 20-12, and then prevailed over at UCLA 4-1. Leading today 6-5, and they hook up again Tuesday at Jackie Robinson Stadium, not far from the UCLA campus. Scott Burke's first pitch to Albie Weiss. Bounce foul, back of the plate. Albie hit a home run in the second inning today, his third homer against UCLA in two seasons. Since then, he's grounded out twice, once to third, once to shortstop. Here comes the next pitch. Half swing, strike. Weiss couldn't hold up on the sticker. Chased it, and the count is 0-2. Ball was in the dirt, rolled behind the umpire, who didn't see it. And the catcher, Daniel Rosique, said, wait a minute, we can't have that ball behind you. You might fall. So I went back and got it and handed it to the umpire. Burke ahead on the count, ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Half swing, no swing, breaking ball low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you're looking ahead to the 9th inning, UCLA due to send up Daniel Rosique, Daniel Amaral, and Brett Stevens to face Connor O'Neill. And if anybody gets on base, look out now, Sean Bouchard would come up. Here's the next pitch from Burke. Ground ball foul off to the left. 10 pitchers have been employed in this game, 5 for each side. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for CSUN. 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for UCLA. Scott Burke's pitch. Low for a ball. 2-2 to Weiss. Nick Sablock, who came into the ball game in the double switch, is on deck for CSUN. The next one to Albie. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So there's the first out. And now here comes Sablock. Nick trying to shake his way out of a slump. Sablock, left-handed batter, 6'1", 205-pound junior. Attended Loyola High School in Los Angeles, where he batted .350 as a senior. Left-handed batter takes, that's a strike, 0-1. Sablock first went to Davidson College. He played 1 baseball game as a pitcher. Came home to go to El Camino College, where Fred Smith was before his CSUN days. And Nick batted .364 down there. Stole 13 bases. First team honors Pacific Coast League. He swings and doesn't get it. And a count 0-2. But right now, Nick is battling it. He has 3 hits in his first 20 at-bats in a Matador uniform. 1 out, nobody on, last of the 8th. CSUN 6, UCLA 5. Burke's pitch, half swing, strike 3 called. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Burke in the 8th. And here's Nolan Bumstead. Bumstead's base hit right now, one of the key blows in the game. Nolan came up in the 6th. It was 3-3. The Matadors had runners at second and third, 2 out, and he stroked a base hit to center field to pick up 2. There was an error by the center fielder. He went to second and scored on a base hit by Rubalcaba. That made it 6-3. Bouchard hit a 2-run homer for UCLA in the 7th, and that's why it's 6-5 right now. Here's a called strike to Nolan. Bumstead has struck out, hit by a pitch, and got the key 2-run single. Right-hander Burke deals. Ground ball out to second base. Fielded there by Chase Strumpf on to first in time. And the Matadors go 1-2-3 and get the ball, well, not out of the infield that inning. We go to the 9th. CSUN 6, UCLA 5.
It's your imagination. Pyology just feeds it. The best pizza you're ever going to eat is the official pizza of CSUN Athletics. Now open in Northridge, pizza lovers know Pyology creates artisan-style custom pizzas. 50 unlimited toppings, house-made crust, and signature sauces, all for one affordable price even Matadors can sink their teeth into. Cooked in an 800-degree open-flame deck oven, ready in about 5 minutes. So for a delicious pie, fresh garden salad, and an ice-cold beer, check out Pyology on the corner of Reseda and Nordoff. As good as a game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer.
Can the Matadors hold on and pick up their 4th win of the season to go with 4 losses? They take a 6-5 lead over UCLA to the 9th inning at Matador Field in Northridge. And Connor O'Neill, who already has a school record when it comes to saves, out there trying to get 1 more as he faces Daniel Rosica, Daniel Amaral, and Brett Stevens in the UCLA 9th inning. They have a pinch hitter, though, first. We're going to. It's Xander Clark, who's going to come up now and bat for Rosica. Clark, a big guy, 6'5", 220-pounder. Redshirt sophomore out of Newberry Park, California, and Newberry Park High School. Clark is 0 for 10 this season. Can play several positions. He can also DH. So O'Neill to Clark on the first one. And it's in for a called strike on the outside corner. Another 1-run game for UCLA. It would be their 5th this year. And this is only the 7th they've played, if it winds up this way. O'Neill's next one. Slow curve and just missed. Not by much. 1 ball, 1 strike to Clark. Clark stepping out for a moment, now back in. O'Neill works. Down and away, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Shadows creeping up on the plate area. Here's Connor's 2-1 pitch. Swung on, a fly ball hit the shallow center. Arona going out, but coming back behind him is the shortstop, and a nice play by Fred Smith. Smith in front of Arona to take it away. It was really there in no man's land for a moment, but Fred stayed with it and caught it. 1 out on the Bruin 9th. Here's Daniel Amaral. He is 0 for 3 today. Has failed to get the ball out of the infield. He's bounced to second and to short. He has sacrificed, and the last time up tried to bunt his way on, and catcher Albie Weiss gunned him down. So here's Amaral. He's a good runner. Last year he only hit 178 for UCLA. Takes a fastball, good for a called strike, 0-1. This year, Amaral was hitting 250 coming into the game, 6 for 24. And 0 for 3 in this one. One strike. Here comes Connor O'Neill. Strike 2, little breaking ball, 0-2. So O'Neill way ahead of Amaral on the count. Daniel, sophomore out of Huntington Beach, waiting at the plate for the right side. And the 2-strike pitch in the dirt. Breaking ball, dipped low, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Amaral is UCLA's best defensive outfielder. Had a good catch today on the Fred Smith sinking line drive early. O'Neill ready. The 1-2 offering. Half swing, got him. Strike 3. Amaral changed his mind in mid-swing. Tried to hold up and couldn't do it. So 2 out in the 9th. The Matadors need 1 more to get to 500 on the year. Connor O'Neill, 1 out away from his 23rd career save. His first this year. Brett Stevens has struck out, walked, had a sacrifice fly, walked again. Left-handed batter. Here comes O'Neill. Swing and a miss and a pitch away from him. Left-handed batter, 0-1. Brett Stevens, when he's faced CSUN the last 2 seasons, is 2 for 11. Came in today hitting 190 on the year. O'Neill trying to get him and wrap it up for the Norge. Now the pitch is on the way. It's down and away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. O'Neill gets the sign, okays it. Here comes his pitch. Strike 2 called, and the count 1-2. Connor O'Neill throwing freely, and he's gotten all 3 batters to face him. A ground out, a pop-up, a strikeout. Trying to end it right here. The 1-2 pitch. Bounced foul, past first. Stevens still up there. On deck, hoping to get another chance, hoping to get on base for the 5th time today, the talented Sean Bouchard of UCLA. All he's done today is single, walk, double, and homer. O'Neill ready. And the 1-2 offering. High and away, ball 2. 2-2. Connor trying not to overthrow it. 2 out, nobody on. They're playing Brett Stevens straight away. Stevens steps out for a moment, now back in. O'Neill set to go. The pitch. High, ball 3. 3-2. So O'Neill takes the count full. Stevens trying to extend the ball game for UCLA. O'Neill trying to finish it off right here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced foul, back of the plate. Stay with us for Meet the Matadors. Coming up in just a few minutes after the final out in this ball game. Brett Stevens waiting for the left side of the plate. Right-hander Connor O'Neill reaches in the glove. Into the windup. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball is lifted to center field. This should be it. Arona is waiting. Matadors win. CSUN with 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. UCLA, 5 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. And Blake Schreiber picks up the win, or check that. Blake Schreiber gets the win for CSUN today, and the loss will go to Moises Seja. So, UCLA goes down to defeat. CSUN pockets a win. That means the Matadors are 4-4 on the year, and the Bruins are 4-3. And they will see each other again next Tuesday night at Jackie Robinson Field over at Westwood. And we'll have it for you right here on GoMatadors.com. So a much-needed victory for the CSUN Matadors, and they got it this afternoon coming from behind. They trailed 2-0 and 3-1. Eventually got the lead thanks to a 4-run sixth inning. That put them ahead 6-3, even though UCLA got the 2-run homer from Sean Bouchard in the seventh. The Matadors held on to win it, and it's a 1-run victory for them and gets them back to 500 on the year. Albie Weiss hit an early home run today, and he's going to be our guest on Meet the Matadors. He's coming up right now, so stay with us a few seconds, and you get to meet the very affable Albie Weiss, who grew up very near this ballpark. He makes his home in Oak Park, California, went to Agoura High School, and had the home run today to open the CSUN scoring. Get in here, big guy. All right. Albie Weiss, our guest on Meet the Matadors. Hey, that was a much-needed win today, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We certainly needed to come out on top of that one. It was back and forth, and it was a fun battle. We always have great battles against that team, and, you know, it's a little cup we have for the little West Coast area over here, so we're happy we came over the hump with this one.
You're down 2-0. You come up for the first time, and what'd you hit out in the second inning?
It was a fastball. I was sitting breaking ball early in the count. I know he's got a plus breaking ball, and I know he's, of course, got a plus fastball as well. But, you know, when he fell behind in the count, I adjusted the plan and said, you know, sit the fastball, and I got the pitch I wanted and didn't try to do too much and, you know, hit the ball on the line and got a good one.
I've got you now with 13 home runs here the last 3 years for CSUN. You probably got more raw power than anybody in the ball club. And I think what I see, Albie, this year is that you've shortened your swing some. Is that right?
Yes, sir. You know, I think season I had my high moments, my low moments. And I think one of those things I wanted to do is eliminate the strikeout. So one of those, you know, ways to do that is to kind of shorten up and kind of have a better approach and a better plan. And like you said, you know, I work hard in the weight room, and I hope that the power shows through, and that's something that's going to happen on its own. I can't try to do too much with it, and staying short's one of those ways to get it done.
Well, you're one of those athletes, and there are many, many, many of them who are really perfectionists at heart. And I know you're wanting to do well every time you come up there, and as a result, there have got to be times where you kind of get down on yourself and get in a little bit of funk. Is that right?
Of course, absolutely. You know, some people, you know, I can't deny the comments when people say he's a thinker sometimes. He overthinks it a bit. So, you know, like you said, I'm a perfectionist, and there are things I want to do on the baseball field every day. And the first at-bat was a great one to get underway. And then, you know, you got to turn the page and be able to go on to that second one. I didn't capitalize in really any of my last 3 at-bats. And, you know, that's something to work on going forward. We can't have one of
You know, the coaches tell me, Albie, that if you have a good first at-bat, you usually have good strokes throughout the ball game. Is that true?
Yeah, I'd hope so. You know, I'd like to be able to turn the page as quick as I can on good results and bad results. So one of those things that tends to happen is, you know, that first at-bat, if I get that result and I get a good hard hit somewhere, and, you know, even if it doesn't fall, I'm able to build off that momentum. And hopefully when I have the bad results in the first at-bat, I'm able to kind of turn the page and get a good one the next time around.
Albie, you're also doing a very strong job behind the plate. 2 years ago, you didn't have an error. Last year, you had one. That's got to be tough, but you've adjusted to that very well. Have you always been a catcher?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My older brother Danny was a catcher, and I always grew up wanting to be better than him in anything he did. So it kind of drove me to be a catcher at a young age and kind of master that craft. And I'm not there yet, but, you know, I'm getting there.
Do you and Dylan Alexander share thoughts as far as catching is concerned?
Of course.
Yeah.
Dylan's, you know, I've been blessed to play in some really good summer leagues and play with a lot of the best catchers in the country, and Dylan Alexander's right up there. I mean, he's got the mind for it and the skills to back it, so it's always fun to come back to the dugout and pick his brain and vice versa and be able to kind of see what he sees, and it's a great asset to have.
Your goal is to be a screenwriter, and you've already tried to make your mark felt, have you? How many have you written so far?
Well, I've dabbled with it a little bit. You know, like I said, summer ball is a great time to kind of get on those 12-hour bus trips with your buddies and be able to put the headphones on for a little while to check away and write on that computer, and you never know what's going to come out. So I've had some fun. I've written a couple hundred pages so far. Nothing's really completed, and like you said, I'm a perfectionist, so I keep going back and making some adjustments, but it's certainly a fun little hobby.
All right, tell us a little bit about the script. What's it going to be?
Well, I've got a little coming-of-age story that I've written about some buddies who are all going off to college and separating on their different paths that I started the summer after I finished high school. And then I got a kind of a baseball almanac movie where it kind of, you know, goes through and transcends all the different generations of baseball through the dead ball era to the steroid era, and it goes through that whole thing through one player's eyes who's able to kind of view it all. So it's a fun little piece that I'm working on.
Do you have a title for it yet?
I don't. I'm working on it.
Maybe it'd be the Albie Weiss story.
I hope so. That'd be good.
Albie, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Ross, thank you so much.
Nice to see you again today.
Thank you so much, Ross.
Albie Weiss, our guest, a home run today, and CSUN beats UCLA 6-5 in the ball game here at Matador Park. So now the Doors will have a little time off, and they will wait. I say a little time off, and I'm not right about that. They have a little time off as far as playing in Southern California, but now they're going to hit the road and they're going to play March 3rd, 4th, and 5th at Vanderbilt in Nashville, and then they come back, and next Tuesday night the 6 o'clock game over at UCLA. Of course, we don't travel with them when they go places like Nashville, so that kind of threw me off. And but CSUN is now 4-4 on the year, and off to face the Vanderbilt Commodores, who only a couple of years ago won the College World Series. That's how good that program is, and we'll see how Greg Moore's team fares on their trip back east. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us today. We hope to see you Tuesday, 6 o'clock, with the Greg Moore Show come up about 12 minutes earlier on Tuesday. And until then, Ross Porter, speaking for Kevin Strauss, has done a wonderful job today engineering and keeping me on the air. We'll talk to you Tuesday. Final score again, CSUN 6, UCLA 5. Good night, all.